Oh, it's a Wednesday night in April. Welcome, fellow CCL sickos. The CONCACAF Champions League final first leg is about to begin, and where would you rather be but watching on not one, but two screens? FS1 to the end. Oh, crack it open. Let's go. Let's go. Let us know in the comment section,
baby,
what you get those Heineken Zeros out. That is the sweet nectar of this CCL run. Seattle Sounders, they're here. They're the fourth team in the modern era to get to this point in the CONCACAF Champions League. We know, everybody knows. If you're watching this screen, this watch along here, MLS has never won. And we thought, what better way to experience this tournament than to do it together? We often do this before we were ever doing on MLS on the YouTube page. We would fire up a Zoom and just get together and have some drinks and experience the usually misery together. But we've got an opportunity here, boys. We got an opportunity for joy. It has been raining cats and dogs in Mexico City. We didn't know if there was going to be a rain delay. That was going to be worst case scenario by far. But it looks like they're going to get this thing going here in about 18 minutes or so, according to FS1. If you are in the comment section saying to yourself, I'm going to watch the game here on YouTube with Calen and Doyle and Goss and Wiebe, wrong. You are not going to do that.
Wrong.
You are going to go to FS1 or 2DN in the U.S. or wherever it is internationally that you are and watch the game on that channel. And then you could either watch us on a different screen, your phone, a laptop, whatever it might be. Maybe you have a more sophisticated setup, or you're just going to listen to us. Basically, it'll just be sort of a way to watch with some friends, and I consider you my friends. If you're up at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on a Wednesday night, April 27th, to watch Pumas, Seattle Sounders, and you know that history is about to be made, I love you. I don't think that's too strong of a word.
This has gone mainstream now.
We've
got Marchand on the hype train.
Exactly. Wait, where's Marchand watching this from? Marchand, if you're there.
He's in the comments. He's on YouTube. Let's go.
I think I probably watched the Marchand video. I don't know, 20 times, 25 times.
What's your favorite part?
I think it's just the intensity in his face the entire time, and imagining what it was like on behind the scenes in the taping. Like that's what I just kept going to him and be like, all right, Marchand, you're gonna drop this MF bomb, and he's like, I know I'm going to drop that, and you all are going to love it. And I just feel like he had the whole
Can
crew
we
in
go
the
around
palm of
and
his
give
hand.
all of our favorite moments?
Yes, go.
I claim false there. I don't think they had to coach that. I think they literally were like, just say whatever you want,
think it's
and
off
we'll cut
script?
it all together. Yeah.
Wow, I hope so. Oh,
Yeah.
we got
Like he literally naturally looks over and is like, those mother effing seats over there. Yeah, we need people in those seats too.
which, by the way, Doyle, you're the only one in this watch along here that will not be there for the second leg.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
how's that make you feel?
Wow, Wiebe comes with that.
Just wondering.
I'm okay with it. Like I've watched most of MLS history unfold from my armchair,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's part of
Yeah.
the blend. It's part of the brand. So I'm okay with it. I hope you guys all have fun. I'll miss you. I'll miss the boat ride with Anders' dad. To hook some salmon in Puget Sound, which I assume there's going to be film of that. But I'm okay with this. Like I've been preparing my entire life to sit in front of a TV and watch sports. So I feel like I'm ready for the next 180 minutes.
It's going to be a good time. Now, we're just hoping we get there with a good score line. One thing that I truly believed that David Goss knew, as Anders, producing Anders, who's in the background now, running all the doohickeys and whatnot to make this thing work. We both had thought that David had told us that away goals do not count in the final. But Dave, that was news to you, and it might be news to the people out there watching right now.
To be real, I probably did actually.
You
tell
did.
You that.
You told me as well.
It.
You 100% told me as well.
Yeah, I just didn't remember. I didn't process it.
So now tell yourself.
Barely...
Now tell yourself that away goals do not count in the final.
So away goals don't count in the final.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you score them at home or away. We're basically the filthy UEFA Champions League at this point.
Oh boy.
I love it. Like I don't understand it, but I love it. Like what's I guess the logic is the extra time, because previous rounds didn't have the extra time in the second leg. But couldn't you just say no away goals in extra time? Like that's a pretty common thing that's done.
Right.
You could just cut it off. But then I guess you're saying, okay, well then that team who hosts the second leg gets the advantage of 30 additional minutes at home, but it's seeded.
Yeah, they're supposed to have it.
Right.
There is no reason for them to have
no
done away with away goals in the middle of the if they want to do away with it next year, that's fine. But to have done so in the middle of the tournament makes no sense. But remember, this is CONCACAF. CONCACAF had no VAR to start World Cup qualifying. And in the middle of World Cup qualifying, they're like, let's start doing VAR. So it wouldn't be CONCACAF if they were, and somebody called the
Okay, is anybody concerned? I hate to do this because I know the history of this group and what you've all been through, really, more than anything. But is anybody concerned that they bring away goals back for the second leg?
Oh, it turns out that yellow cards got before the semifinals. We didn't announce this, but those do also count here. So we've got some guys on yellow card warnings. Just to give you an idea, Stefan Fry's on a yellow card. Here he got one in the semis, as well as Juan Dineno. And I guess we'll do the lineups here in a second. But Juan Dineno was, according to all reports, he's the leading goal scorer in this
tournament.
Couldn't
get out of bed.
I mean, he was
zero chance. Was never going to play another game in his life.
In a boot, just dragging his legs around. Had no, just
body brace.
Definitely not playing in this match. Zero chance. Starting now for Pumas, which is absolutely wonderful.
Unreal.
By the way, he's out of contract at the end of 2022. He's free. So MLS teams who might be in the chat, I'm just letting you know, sign a pre-contract with this man starting in about 4 weeks.
Hey, Anders, remind me.
Sounds like the Columbus Crew might be watching.
Yeah. Anders had some pretty good luck in Mexico. Anders, remind me in the chat where we're trying to go on Tuesday to have beers with folks in Seattle before the second leg. we got some questions in here. Matt Sexton's hitting us up, so I just want to let him know if we get the opportunity. What's up to the Gonzalez family in Bakersfield? I'm monitoring the chat here, so if you want to get at us, just holler in the chat. And do we have a fake account here? Oh no, that's actually you, Doyle. I thought that was a.
No, that's me.
Okay, I thought that was. I was like, does somebody have a Doyle?
Because if
burner?
Doyle's not talking to at least 2 people during a game, then he's not actually watching.
No,
Exactly.
I've actually
So he
been
needed
staying,
to bring up.
I've been
Joe Lynn's
staying
here.
out of the chat, but Joe and Alex let me know that they're going to be in the chat. So
Joe Lynn, I've been riding the
say
Peloton regularly, Joe Lynn. And I want you to know that you are an inspiration for me in that sense. All right, let's get into
like
the
2,000 rides, man. She's lunatic.
I know she's just a monster.
Can I say before we do this, you guys talked about away goals and how CONCACAF it is. I think the only thing more CONCACAF is that there's currently a Mexico friendly against Guatemala.
Yeah, and by the way, Jonathan Gomez just made his debut. He's a FC Dallas Academy product. He's a Mexican-American kid. He's been in camp with the U.S. national team. He was the USL Young Player of the Year last year. He is at Real Sociedad now. He's playing for their B team. He just made his debut for Mexico. He is not cap-tied. He has not said that he's 100% going to play for one team or the other. So it's just dual national panic all over again.
And Marcelo Flores is on the field. Calen Carr's own next idol, his next god. Canadian Mexican Arsenal youth player.
Not quite the World Cup here, but maybe it'll convince him to switch over. A little Guatemala Mexico on a Wednesday night. All right, let's take a look at I guess we have the Pumas 11 up. Dineno's the big one, I think. That was the question mark. It wasn't a question mark, and now it's big news. How big is that news? I guess that's the most obvious question in the world. Is the leading scorer in the tournament? Like, this changes a lot of things for Pumas.
Correct. I'm sorry. I pulled up the full screen to see the lineup, so I can't see any of you in real time. Correct. He is the biggest threat on this team, and almost all of the attack for this team comes through the fullbacks and whipping in crosses. Not a lot is interchange. Not a lot is pattern play and working the ball through any part of the middle part of the field. And so Dineno's ability to get on the end of crosses, to bring crosses down, which is where he's been really dangerous, and get that finish in the box, that's sort of their biggest threat. And I think it's great that players are back and healthy, but Ymar has played 30 minutes in the last 3 weeks, month.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a worry. It's a worry we thought wouldn't exist. So it was the second gut punch of the night already after the yellow card thing to make it just a nice CCL night.
It's also a pretty big risk for Pumas, though, if you think about it. I know, they need to come out, and there's a lot of pressure on them, I think, in this first leg, because I think when you look at Seattle's form, if you leave it towards the second leg, you're going to be in trouble. But coming back from a muscle injury is a tricky one to come back from, which I think is what he's recovering from. So without a ton of time, they got to be feeling good about it, but it's probably a little bit also of like roll the dice, see what he can give you in this one. But I could see it backfiring. It's really a big gamble to throw somebody out there who is recovering from that type of injury. So I could see it in a way. I think it speaks to more the mentality of Pumas, and that they really need to throw everything at this first leg.
Did you see who brought out the trophy tonight in the pouring rain, by the way? Al Brody in the leather strap sandals and a suit.
Oh, wow.
Pumas
I was
legend.
like, is Charlie Davies about to stanky leg again?
Yeah,
no.
Pumas.
Do we know that Jorge Campos, is it just like he only wears the sandal? He only wears the sandals now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the weather, doesn't matter the conditions. The man is sandals first. As for the Sounders 11, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's what you would expect them to put on this match. You mentioned Ymar. He's really the only one we were sort of wondering about. And Brian Schmetzer said this week, yeah, he's ready. He'll go. So it's Stefan Fry in goal again on a yellow card. Alex Roldan at right back. Ymar, Arriaga. Nuhu to finish out the back line. João Paulo, Rusnak in that two deep line midfield spots there. Christian Roldan on the right, Ladero in the middle, Jordan Morris on the left, and Raul Ruiz Diaz up top. this is as good as it gets for the Sounders, and they can make history here, Calen. You are you're the only one here in this chat who has played a CONCACAF Champions League game. You have been in the arena.
Oh,
what a
joy!
There's a lot of like I don't know if you count like MLS old heads that just truly hate this tournament. I get like texts and DMs whenever I get too excited about it from former players that are like, "You idiot, you moron! This just don't get your hopes up. Don't love this. It will not love you back." How much does it really matter for MLS and for Seattle? I think that for Seattle, it's pretty straightforward. You win a continental title, you're the first to do it. You go to Club World Cup. Like, there's all these boxes you get to check. You get bragging rights forever. We know Sounders fans love those. But for MLS overall, how much does this matter?
Well, I'll speak from experience in playing in it, where I would say the idea, like entering the tournament was cool. It felt like an honor in the sense of like, you're amongst the very elite of the elite MLS teams. And it was kind of a byproduct of our performance in the league. And I was more proud of it from that standpoint, to say that we have the honor of representing MLS. That said, the idea that we were going to win it at that point in time was really not a part of our conversation. Like, we didn't enter into the tournament saying like, this is the beginning of our run to try and win this for MLS. And I think things really changed with that Real Salt Lake team.
Hold on. How did Dom then what was I was like, hey guys, we got a game on Wednesday night. Like, I don't know if you knew.
No, it's the same. It's not to say that. It's honestly like, it's very difficult for teams still to do this, right? Like, There's a reason why this is hard. And when you look at, not to date myself, but the salary implications at the time, not exactly retired at this point in life. And so I just think like that was a part of it. Some of the memories I have though are incredible, from like playing in incredible atmospheres. I remember playing Arabe Unido in Panama. I remember playing Olympia in Houston, which was an away game, which was amazing. And I can't remember the goalkeeper's name, but he totally took a dive.
And get Boniak in that game? I mean, like,
Boniak came. Well, we ended up just like
Alex Lopez, maybe wasn't he Olympia? Like,
yeah, we took all their players. We sent Boniak back though. I think it was like a handshake agreement that one day we'll return him in one piece. But I was gonna say, I remember this goalkeeper going down and trying to get me a red card for like pushing him, and he grabbed his face, and it was like this whole amazing thing. But just like that experience was really good for me, and I would say also something I hadn't faced. And so when we were looking at last week with the Sounders and their time wasting tactics with NYCFC, I'm like, oh, this is a team that has been in these types of situations a little bit more and understands how to go on the road. And we may see some of that again tonight, although we have to be careful because I know Stefan Fry's on a yellow card and we can't have him suspended for the second leg. Overall, though, I'll say this. Every time we enter these CCLs and you ask me how I'm feeling, I always start by saying I'm cautiously pessimistic. And I've seen you guys get your heart broken so many times, and I've just been like, I'm not going to play a part in that. But I tell you what, tonight.
It's the fireworks. It's the fireworks on FS1. It's the beauty of the Estadio Universitario. Yeah.
I'm feeling optimistic, which surely means I'm going to end in despair and heartbreak. But no, I'm with you guys on this one. I'm excited, and I feel like this is a really incredible chance for Seattle to kind of change the narrative around MLS in a big way, and to see them even at the Club World Cup in a Jimi Hendrix jersey is something that I am happily fantasizing about.
It looks like a sick atmosphere. I don't know if you're watching on FS1, you should be like, if you're watching just us, like, that's cool. I hope we entertain you, but like, you should also just watch the game at the same time. We'll try to time it up here in a little bit if you want to hit pause to watch at the same time as us. Otherwise, just spoil everything in the chat. But we're watching the players come out right now. It's fireworks in Mexico City. Like, it is pouring rain. The cameras are all coated in water droplets right now. Like, it's a little bit, kaleidoscopy, to be honest with you. We're almost there. Kickoff coming very, very shortly. Hit us up in the comments section. We'll be here for the whole game. Just enjoying it. Let us know what you're drinking on. If if you're of age and you are somebody who enjoys a fine adult beverage, or not an adult beverage, maybe you make a nice virgin cocktail of some sort, or you just like, I don't know, cranberry juice. let us know. What's the big tactical wrinkle here, Doyle? What do you?
I don't know if there is one. The Pumas is more or less a 4-4-2 team, and it looks like, especially with Dineno back, it looks like that's what they're going to be in this game. And of course, Brian Schmetzer is what he is as a coach because he doesn't screw up by overthinking it. He trusts his best players. He puts them in positions to succeed, and that means a 4-2-3-1 with, like, if you know the Sounders at all, then you could name all 11 players and exactly where they're playing. The one thing to look out for is, like, okay, where's Seattle going to draw the line of confrontation? Because we think of them most often as a low block team, and I would argue that they're probably at their most comfortable in a lower block and playing on the counter. But we've seen some really good moments from them in CCL coming out and, like, selectively pressing. So
I don't think Pumas they don't have anything to give Ladero. So Talavero came up and Nico handed him the Sounders and he looks at him and he just, like, taps him on the shoulder. He's like, sorry, man.
Hey,
the gamesmanship begins.
Yeah, Dineno's okay. We forgot our pennant. Like, don't worry about it. The track is just, by the way, there's a fine sheen. A beautiful sheen on the track here at Estadio Universitario. A wonderful history for Pumas. You should go read about it if you don't know about it. You should also subscribe to Getting CONCACAF by John Arnold. He would have told you all the stories you need to know already.
He also told me that there's a Diego Rivera mural on the outside of the Estadio Olimpico, which I had
only
no
one of us
idea
has been there, and it is David Goss.
Boy.
Tell us about your Estadio Universitario experience, David.
Yeah, it was cool. If anyone doesn't know, it's UNAM Pumas because they are the team of the university, which is the largest university, I think, in the Americas, like anywhere. And so it's a massive college that then feeds into this team. It's like if the University of Alabama football team was, like, playing in the professional ranks, and they're one of the giants because there's such a large fan base because so many people have gone to that school or have friends or family that have gone to that school. It's why you see the Pumas logo everywhere in your life. And so you go on campus to go to the stadium. The stadium was built for the Olympics. I don't know. I'm going to guess 1964. And so
68, dude. 68, Mexico City. Come on.
I was close. Hey, we both did it in unison. I had that part right. Shout out to Tommy Smith. And so it's really cool. It's like an Art Deco style campus. You see the mural. There's a ton of mosaic, all that type of stuff. The stadium is ancient. Like, it is just cement slabs that you sit on.
There's the kickoff, by the way. 5 seconds right now. There's the kickoff. Thank you, Anders, for the reminder. I was just sitting here watching. I'm at 10 right now, so if you want to, you can do your best. I'll tell you when I hit a minute. How about that? And you can. I don't know if that'll help you. But.
So yeah, it's epic. It's really old. You feel it, but also you feel if you've ever watched Liga MX, Pumas basically always hosts the church game. So Sunday, 1 p.m. they host the game, and it's like, so that's what I went to against Club America, and you just feel the history and the culture in it. There's an ancient clock that they use for the scoreboard that looks like, I don't know, it's like an Indiana high school football game. The whole thing just oozes class, but is definitely different than going to the new stadium that Monterrey built, right? And that experience and all of that. So it's a lot of fun, but it sort of tells you where the team sits now in the conscience in Mexico.
Wait, Goss, what is the church game? What does that mean?
Like after church, post church.
Yeah.
Okay, so
a lot of countries
a slot for that.
Yeah, a lot of countries have like that. I think it's normally 1 p.m. on Sunday, so it's like people go to church and then they go to the game, and it's sort of now Pumas has sort of owned that spot and it's been built around them. Similar how Cholos always plays on Friday night.
That's cool. You know what? You actually don't need to skip church though, because a lot of these stadiums have actual churches within the stadiums. I remember playing at the Estadio Jalisco in Guadalajara, where the old Chivas Stadium. And as you walk out the tunnel, you play there's like an actual church, a little chapel built within the stadium. And I went in there to like, I don't know, to spend a moment before the match. And it was incredible. So I think like, yeah, there's a lot of sayings about like sport and religion, but I would say in Mexico, it's like yeah, they've combined them both. It's pretty incredible.
A little quiet place for reflection beforehand.
Yeah.
I'd take a little hidden camera in there, just see Brian Schmetzer come in and pay his respects before they get down here. Corner kick for the Sounders right now. A little more than 2 minutes in. Rusnak over the ball. Who are the targets he's going to be looking for, Doyle? Who's the danger man? It's Yaimar and Arriaga probably?
Yeah, it doesn't look like Arriaga has pushed up actually into the box. But the thing is, Christian Roldan is fantastic in the air for a guy of his size. So he's another one. Obviously, Jordan Morris is pretty decent in the air, and then you always have Rui Diaz kind of sneaking around looking to poach something. Sounders are good in set pieces. They didn't get one out of this one.
Did you see Nico Moreno, who does an awesome job covering the Sounders? And if you don't follow him, you should. I think he interviewed Rui Diaz at the stadium yesterday after training, and he said it's the biggest tournament game of his life for Rui Diaz, which I thought was kind of cool to hear. And we've talked about this a little bit, but I think for guys who left Liga MX to come to MLS, we saw Zelarayan like the first time he played against Monterrey. I think there is like you want to show everyone you left on the right terms and that you still are the great player that you were.
Even
when you were there.
Velas was like a whole revenge tour. It was just like going through all the Mexican teams to the final. That was incredible. But yeah, I think for those guys, they understand maybe that some of the perception or the gap in perception between Liga MX and MLS. So coming there and then also coming back to prove that. But you heard that kind of to a man for a while now, where Christian Roldan said the same thing like a couple rounds ago in the tournament. So I think these guys are like I think the Sounders more than anything understand that they have a chance to like leave a mark or leave a legacy, and so you can see them motivated to do that.
I think it'd be interesting. It's just interesting to me to have it kind of come full circle with MLS's moments, let's say, on this stage in the modern Champions League, to have it be a Garth Lagerwey built team that has this opportunity. You know, after it was Garth's team at RSL that truly did sort of capture everyone's imagination at the time. I mean, I think that was so powerful because of what you're saying, Calen, about that sort of era of MLS. Of like, there was just a feeling of like, this can't happen. Like, they can't do this. You know, I remember at the time, Humberto Suazo was just a freaking god. Like, it was just like, nah, RSL now. Like, not even going to Saprissa was a nah. And we've sort of turned the page here to where I'm not going to say that MLS teams dominate Costa Rican teams. That's not the case. But we do more often than not get.
It has been the case for like
we get through. How about that? We get through over 2-leg series. I don't know that it's always like, you know, we're not doing
like DC United lost to Al Valencia like 4 years in a row. But
we're not doing what Liga MX has to them, what Liga MX has done to us for years and years, and that's starting to flip too. But it's interesting to see in these different eras, like a guy that was there, that valued it, that wanted it, that almost got it, and RSL almost got it, come back around and have this chance.
The big thing that popped about that team, and I think, if I'm being honest, outside of Montreal, has been about all of them, is they're great teams that play great soccer as well in these competitions, and that's sort of part of what you're growing and what you're building. Is not just, can we sit deep and hang on and score in set pieces and survive throughout this tournament? Is this a red card?
It was very close.
Okay. I'm probably a second behind
Is
you guys.
Is there video review in CONCACAF Champions League?
There is, but it's he's free and clear, man. Unless there's a disciplinary committee, Raul Diaz is free and clear of kicking a dude in the head.
I'm at 550 right now.
I'm 557.
Yeah, it happened a little bit. It happened a little while ago. They didn't put as much emphasis.
Oh wow, that's a big jump
on the broadcast as I thought they might have. Was Univis Otario? That was the Ben Bear belt game.
Yeah. It was. We almost lost. We almost lost Ben Bear at that game from just emotionally from this planet.
I'm sure. Also, I think about like that 1 p.m. Sunday game in a lot of the year. Like, you're basically in a concrete bowl.
Yeah, there's zero cover.
You're thousands of feet closer to the sun than most throughout their daily lives. Plus, you're in a concrete bowl at 1 p.m. in the afternoon in
we,
Mexico City.
We got interviewed on TV by someone who thought our friend who was a redhead was Canelo's brother. And it was the night after day after Canelo had fought. And he kept yelling it at us. And we were like, nah, sorry, it's not him. And they were like, no, Canelo. And we were like, okay, cool.
I mean, look, it's worth a shot. Like, you're either looking for a story.
It's content, baby.
Just try to make some connections there. Even just, the clip of him saying it's not me. That's you got the wrong guy. Like, that plays. I'd watch that.
It's like when I went to a Japan World Cup game, I did an interview on Colombian television, and they kept asking me how I felt being a Japan supporter, and I was like, "Listen, I'm at this game. I'm not Japanese, but I'm happy to answer your questions." And they kept asking me, I'll do anything for content.
Yeah, in your heart, I know you were rooting for Japan, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
7:45 in here, folks. If you're watching with us, remember this is a watch along show. I hope I'm not having to explain that to you. It's not news. But FS1 to the end is your spot to go watch this. Who has the advantage in this weather, if anyone? And what does what does away strategy look like when you don't have away goals to count on? Like a 2-1 that's not good. Like losing with goals scored is not what it normally would be in 2-leg knockout competitions with away goals. So like how do you approach this? Is just you're looking for a draw, hoping for a win?
I still think for Seattle, the concept is getting goals. And I understand that it's not away goals, but I just think they're the leading scorers in the tournament because they've been really efficient when they've broken. And I think Pumas will feel the responsibility at home to try and open things up. And for them, that means pushing their fullbacks high. And you've got Roldan and Morris to counter into that space. So I still think for Seattle, it's sit in your shape, sit in your block for large stretches of the game and just be ready to be dangerous over the top into the corners. And that's what they did against Leon at home. That's what they did against NYCFC as well. So I think that fits sort of their game plan, which is what's so exciting about it for them is like they don't have to change who they are to get the result.
Ezra Hendrickson is in my Twitter mentions right now. I asked, what are you drinking, everyone out there? And he said, what you'll be drinking in October, Malort. Hashtag promises kept.
That Ezra is just like having like Malort is just like a casual drink for him now, just like to watch.
Oh man, you remember that he's out here for his man, for Brian.
I think a draw would be is still the pathway. I mean, if you get more, you do, but I think you have to minimize. When you get to a final, honestly, it's not always the most prettiest. It's not always like the prettiest soccer, and especially with the conditions, which Seattle will be very familiar with, especially the homegrown players or the players that grew up there. We used to joke like playing in Berkeley going against University of Washington, where it's like these guys like walk on water because we'd be like slipping everywhere, and all the like local Seattle guys would have no problem at all. But I just think like the idea that you got to minimize risk playing out of the back. And you see them just go long here as I say that.
Yeah, short, long every time so far. Yeah.
Be good on set pieces, right? That's always important for a final, but I think especially given the conditions. And I think Seattle can be successful in that respect. And then I think if you can, the way Pumas plays, they tend to use their outside back. I think Mozo is the right back. Is that right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he can kind of like tuck inside sometimes. And so if they get a little bit more adventurous with him, I think the pathway still is to try and go through Jordan Morris and turn them around. And with even with some direct balls or long switches to really kind of like use the wet field and use his athleticism to see if they can kind of really put them under pressure. But at the end of the day, like 0-0 at halftime would be fine. I think if you finish this game with a draw, like you're in great shape. Anything more than that is just a bonus.
My man tried a bicycle stick.
Hell yeah.
25 yards out.
off a recycled bounce around set piece. It's like why not?
What were the odds that a defender not named Nuhu would try a bicycle kick from 24 yards out?
That's awesome.
Nuhu was such a strong favorite. They probably took it off the board.
Give me the XG on that. I need like I need some broadcast innovations where, like, after every shot, just a little bubble of XG number pops up. I need that just to know.
You got to estimate it. You are the XG.
I'm gonna say that one's like, I don't even know. Would it get to 0.01? Like, I don't think it would. I don't think it would be measurable. I think it would be down there where it's just like negligible.
I don't know that it'd register as a shot either. It would be like a long ball played out behind the goal.
Oh, that was a shot. Don't you dare put any other intent other than top corner on that. He had visions. It's almost one of those things where, like, I'll show you. You think I can't do a bicycle kick? Watch, I got this. I'll do a bicycle kick. The best thing about rain for people with I don't know, people like me who enjoy stupid things is it makes everyone's hair look extra epic. Everybody gets to do like the slick back. It really adds to the aesthetic of the game.
It's like the final scene of Point Break. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it adds a little.
I'll yes and that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit of drama. Add here, you know.
That's very generous, Doyle.
Yeah, I was feeling it. If I'd have a cider.
Speaking of epic, did you guys watch Garth's speech on the field against Miami last week?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think?
How do we feel? How do we feel about that fire up? About
I really appreciate and respect the effort. It seemed like maybe the PA situation for him made it a bit difficult for people in stadium to pick up on what exactly he was yelling about, but I appreciate that. I want to know the like behind the scenes story of, did Garth go to, you know, like the PR stadium ops people and be like, I need to be on the field. Like he was like the opening act for Marshawn, really, you know, like get a couple laughs, get a couple cheers, and then you bring in Marshawn Lynch and like he tears the house down. But I want to know whose idea was.
I think
the two biggest names in Seattle.
Marshawn wrote it. He said, "You got to go out there and deliver this, man."
It's a little ghost ride action. He's like, you don't have to say the MFer parts, but I really recommend that you do. Like this would be a lot better. It really would land if you said that. It sounds like it's gonna be sold out for the second leg. No,
I mean
that's awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Like it sounds like it's gonna be 60,000 people in Seattle. Again,
so I thought it was 60, by the way, as well, and people are saying that it holds 72.
I think that's if they open. I want to say that's 67,000. Says Anders. I want to say that there was something in the past, like the bird's nest thing at Lumen Field. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little thing behind the weird thing.
So
I don't know.
So I'm just telling you what the Google machine says. It says 72.
That might be for the Seahawks. Remember, American football fields are a little smaller.
Interesting.
But they have additional seats that.
Yeah. Oy. Normally, that's just the sidelines alone because you have 97 players on the team.
What do you think of Schmetzer's rain gear?
We don't, Wiebe. I guarantee you, none of us, other than you, have thought of Schmetzer's rain gear.
Also, the dude's born and raised in Seattle, so he's at home right now.
Now that we thought of it, yes, David's right. It's probably elite rain gear.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's I'm just trying to coax out elite analysis here. You know,
it's probably from his family's sports. Don't they own a sports equipment store?
They used to. His brother, or I think his father or his brother did. I think it's his brother.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's probably where it comes from.
The Eskandarians, the Schmetzers. It's like, you know, it's a rite of passage. It's royalty.
Schmetzer was the original homegrown he didn't go to college. He went straight, he signed directly from high school. So like you guys talk about the like play your kids movement. This guy was the OG originator of it.
And he did it but it was into NASL, right?
Yeah.
And then he was.
But it was different when you stuck cardboard in between your sock as a shin guard.
I still do that in men's league occasionally when I forget, like there are certain games you have to wear, and I generally find like a paperback book.
Calen, are you playing again?
No, just it's like a hypothetical, you know.
Oh, okay.
To play off this, yes, and this hypothetical, if you had to choose the ideal paperback book to serve as a emergency shin guard, what would you?
You got to go thin. I don't know. You got it. It can't be too
Old
thick.
Old Man on the Sea. It's a pretty thin one for you.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a thin
Yeah.
book.
Probably a lot of like reprints out there. You know that like the small size.
Yeah. If you have
I'd
any
say if
ideas
Mice and
for
Men are
in the
catching the
YouTube, that feels
ride.
like a good YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
give
We
us
need some.
recommendations.
I see Mike Gray in here. I feel like Mike Gray is he's an intellectual. What are you sticking in there, Mike? I always went with the folded up extra sock. Like, you have your soccer sock, but then you have the street sock that you wore. So I would go with the folded up street sock.
Not
And
as much protection there, though.
Just hope that nobody
No.
kicks you, like tries to kick you, or the ref doesn't do the thing where they hit it. Like, come on, buddy. Like, you don't got to, it's men's league. You don't got to touch me. Sean Steffen with an interesting idea. The Communist Manifesto is what he's throwing out there.
I like that.
Doyle just woke up.
Yeah, but Sean would never read it in the original Russian.
Oh, Ian Powell in here with some info.
German.
He says Lumen
German.
never added the seats to reach the claimed 72,000.
Wow.
So they have the capacity, but they don't have the seating. That's some good YouTube comment section action.
Yeah.
Anders, we were listening. I said that you said it was 67,000.
But you didn't say why, Anders. You didn't
He's,
say why
well,
the
hold
machine
on.
was wrong.
They can bring in seats and standing room to get to 72K, says Anders.
Yeah, that's not an answer now. We already know that from the YouTube
Yeah,
comments.
come on, yeah. YouTube and Wikipedia. I mean, it is raining hard.
Yeah.
Like sometimes
Advantage
when it's
Seattle, that's what I say.
that wide angle, sometimes you can't tell, but when they go into any sort of close up, it is pouring. What's your favorite CCL final run? We got 4 to choose from. RSL from MLS, obviously. RSL, Montreal, Toronto, LAFC. I don't think we can. If someone chooses LAFC, I'm going to call you a liar. It just can't be. It just couldn't possibly be LAFC. It just wasn't the same.
LAFC win that if they had signed BWP on a short term deal. I will go to my grave believing that. But no, my favorite is Toronto. Like the RSL one is incredible because they were the first to do it in this modern edition, and it was such a new thing. Like you guys were talking about before, like it felt like everyone really was pulling for them, other than maybe Rapids fans. And they played such great ball, and like they came really close. And if Fabian Espindola could just not hit the post 15 times, like we would have buried this whole storyline 11 years ago. And then Montreal had that amazing goal against Pachuca, the Callum Malice to Cam Porter, like that's just so MLS.
The Klopas thrust. They got a 1-1 draw at America in the first leg of the final.
It was incredible, but like what Toronto did with the teams they beat and how well they played, and like doing so much of it, missing huge pieces. Like people forget Michael Bradley played, I think, both legs in central defense because they had so many injuries and suspension. And
they traveled Zavaleta and he could never play. The whole thing was a ploy.
Yeah,
and that's not even the guy you want playing. That's Eric Zavaleta.
Yeah,
that's how bad things were.
And they should have won. And they outplayed Chivas. And Mark Delgado had that. It wasn't a sitter, but he had that open look from it was like 10 yards. And then they as soon as he missed that, okay.
Header on by Fry.
As soon as he missed that, you knew that they were not going to win in penalties.
Do you think Mark Delgado scores that?
And no, I don't.
Marky didn't. We have a question in here that I'm. This is right in my wheelhouse. I don't know if you guys will like it. You can let me know. Puma style from Brian Mraz. This is a great question, Brian. Puma style. Which American university should put in a bid to become an MLS team?
Berkeley, obviously.
Yeah,
We've already got Steph Fry in the final. Come on, I mean, this is an easy one.
I'm gonna go Boise State. Get the blue turf,
dude.
In MLS.
You're throwing it straight back from what is it? Treasure Valley SC. You remember
Is that
that?
your team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day, the fake,
I remember
the
that.
fake
That was well
expansion
done, Wiebe.
teams.
I
Yeah.
think that the obvious answer though is UCSB, right? like they draw 10,000 fans anyway. They have a great little stadium there. They have an ideal location. It's got to be UCSB.
Doyle just wants to move to Santa Barbara.
Absolutely.
Maryland could be one. Like if you're looking to fill, you have like a really nice rivalry with DC. Sasha just, I mean, how many? He's basically produced like many MLS teams already.
Oh my God, you guys, we were at
Oh.
GA Cup and I was sitting with Chris Seitz and he went through his team. It was Robbie Rogers, Omar Gonzalez, AJ, and him in a back, obviously part of the back five.
Graham,
and Jeremy Hall.
I'm pretty sure Graham was in that team too.
Yeah, so I don't know who started when, because Chris and Robbie left early because they went GA and to Heronveen. So I don't know who, but like that was some combination. It's absurd.
I
It's
think
like an MLS Cup winning team.
You could do that
Maryland's
with Lahoud. You could do that like with Lahoud and Wake Forest as well.
Yeah, Wake is insane. Yeah,
It
we
was-
did
it
knock them
was-
out of the playoffs though. I did knock out Lahoud.
There's
Don't let him
one thing
forget.
if you get like again, not to call you an old head, but the guys that played college together in MLS, like who have now retired,
Oh, God.
they don't even really like. They'll talk to you about college beef more than they'll get
They
into
love
some of
it.
the MLS stuff. It's like we own.
It's
Yeah,
it's like the thing that the players like the most
Yeah,
is just repping their college.
Sasha. You get Sasha and Charlie in a room, and God, you could just BC Seton Hall and just all day.
St. Louis University would also be a good shout.
Yeah, that
SLU
would
would
be
be
a good
good.
Just with the history of that city and the way they came to kind of define it, and
It's where St. Louis
Los
too is
Ignanos.
playing right now.
Yeah.
Is at their stadium.
On that note, we had somebody say SDSU, which is I think still where Still we're San Diego.
The director of this game is having just an absolute shocker.
yes.
Just cut
Go
away.
full-
The ball was live, and like Seattle were building from the back, and Pumas were pressing, and he cut away from the action to show a replay of a pass that Ladero played straight out of bounds to like slow it down and show you that yes, João Pedro would have been onside if the pass hadn't been hit straight out of bounds. Like I've been biting my tongue for 25 minutes, but this direction is so terrible.
Not to change the topic.
Thank you for changing
I'm always here
Thanks,
for a little bit of like TV Amsterdam. I'm always here for it.
But Cam Porter plays on my men's league team here in New York. So just want to throw
Alleged men's
Like,
league team. that you
CCL. Well,
allegedly
yeah.
play
I
on.
mean, he's filling in for me, right? He's normally not always leading the line, but I'm giving him my spot right now.
Did they have to put you on IR or like they get cap relief for your absence or?
Pub relief, I think it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
just
discount at the pub.
Gotcha. The tab is just a little bit lower every week, just about 4 beers short of normal.
It's funny because he goes to bars here in New York and people don't know who he is. But like Montreal, the guy wouldn't pay for a drink. It's amazing that he's decided to maybe step away from the limelight for a little bit.
Listen, as all of the aging stars, I've heard Luis Suarez talk about it, Zlatan. It's nice to come here and be able to walk down the streets again and not
Exactly.
be accosted.
Yeah, that's why I had to get out of Houston.
People see that 2002 Acura coming down the street. They know who it is.
Yeah, you wear a headband. You're in Chicago. You wear a headband once. All right, then you have no peace. You just have no peace.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was a Steph Fry. I don't know
might
if
be a
that was
little
the
bit ahead of you
surface
guys
or
now.
what that was, but like Steph
That was
Fry-
not clinical from Steph Fry.
Yeah, it was a little bit
It looked
clunky.
like a tree falling down. That was not.
That was Jimmy Nielsen in 2013 MLS Cup right there. That was
Wiebe, give me a time check.
26-11.
Okay.
Yeah, Arriaga didn't do him.
It's going wide, I think, but
Yeah, it is wide. He gets a touch.
Oh, bodies everywhere.
Pretty deep here.
Yeah. The defendant in his lap.
I do appreciate that last Thursday you and Charlie yelled at me about Steph Fry being the third goalkeeper on the national team, and then he let a cross go in like 48 hours later.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anders, what? I couldn't hear you.
I don't think
What'd
that
you
was
say?
I don't think that was a cross.
You think that was a shot?
It was definitely a shot.
Espinosa was shooting?
Absolutely. It was an insane no look shot, but I'm positive that guy was shooting. It was bizarre, but San Jose is a bizarre team.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Cal Bears stick together. That's what that is. That's what that analysis is.
No, he
Wasn't
should
it
have saved it. He
Espinosa's
should have saved it.
shot?
I kind of feel like
Oh,
he
okay.
definitely should have saved it. But I think Espinosa was shooting it.
Oh, Morris. I just couldn't. Just couldn't quite get that last touch.
Wow. Is that really? That's really Thomas in the comment section because it's Donnarumma slander. That's 100% Thomas.
Thomas, aren't you supposed to be working right now?
That's his
This
job
is
to
work.
be in the-
Yeah.
I love it.
How much?
Do you guys remember when I think Seattle went and played at Chivas, and it was like Jordan Morris's first ever pro game?
No.
Because it was before the season even started, and he just looked like a fish out of water. And it was like, we've anointed this kid, and Aaron Kovar looks better than him, and now he's good. That's the Jordan Morris game I remember.
Jordan Morris is like the beginning of his professional life is. I would be curious to talk to him about that now, of just the way it all happened for him. It's almost, I don't think there's not a peer, so to speak, in the way that with Klinsmann and into that camp with Stanford, and then the homegrown verse, wasn't it like, and then there was the Werder Bremen question, or was that later on?
No, it was the same time.
Yeah, just like there was just
the offer coming
but
out.
like, a lot of the guys that get there, okay, they have this hype build up for a long period of time. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Doyle, you probably were better than I was. Was there this huge amount of hype about Morris before he hit that Stanford friendly? And Jurgen was like, "This dude, like, this guy's a killer. Like, we need."
No,
this guy.
he had been left off the he had been left off the 2013 U20 national team, and there was some frustration about that. But he was like. He was a fringe player, not fringe, but he was like maybe the 15th guy on that team. Tab obviously thought he was a 21st guy, so he didn't take him. But it like he exploded because of that scrimmage with the full national team at that pre-World Cup camp.
Oh my God, this U20 squad is amazing.
Wait, he got left off for Cuevas.
Who was a baller at the time, by the way?
He was not a
So I
baller.
agree
He was not
with Tab.
He was not a baller. He was built
Like,
like a fire
wait, hold on.
hydrant.
This is, I was gonna say,
Daniel
Santos
going
Cuevas.
downhill?
Did you know Cuevas is like a power lifter now? Which that should surprise
No, it
nobody.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He ended up in the like weird pre-USL, like played for like Arizona United before they became Phoenix Rising and sort of bounced around and did all that. But this team is great.
I saw Jordan Morris play in Houston when I was playing there, and went to go watch like a random tournament like in our training fields. And I was like, I mean, he definitely jumped off the page to me. So he had some hype, I think, early, but like to go from college to having like, a national team coach sort of. We really haven't seen that, at least on the men's side. On women's football, it's more common where we see like women's soccer players getting called up from college, but it's very rare to see what happened with Jordan.
Do you remember how big a deal it was that Juan Pablo Acegueda was going to be a U.S. player playing for Chivas, and then he never made it through to a pro level? Man, this 2013 team's bringing me back.
We could do a
I'm loving
whole. I
this.
feel that we could do a whole like series of
We should do
exercises
U20 look back.
of just like we're going to talk about this U20 roster for 35 minutes and just.
To be clear, I still am mad about Tab for bringing Havon Torre to that tournament and starting.
He was a
and
big
making
center
him-
back, and he brought Havon Torre
UCLA.
over Walker Zimmerman. That was
No,
the
he
one.
brought Havon Torre over John Anthony Brooks first.
I don't
and
think
then
I don't think
Walker
Brooks
Zimmerman.
was going to play in that.
Weeby, do you remember the interview we did?
No.
Oh, we
Straight up.
walked Tab over.
Straight up.
We went to a press conference with Tab, then we walked him back to the MLS office.
Oh,
and
no.
He was like,
okay. Yeah, I do know.
listen,
I do
he
know.
wasn't wrong, but I think he basically said like Brooks demanded.
Is that a
oh,
penalty?
oh,
Oh.
No.
No, he's getting in the ear. He's saying, no. We've got video review.
Oh no.
Pumas are just hanging at the spot.
Oh no. Did he blow it
Arriaga-
though? Did he blow it though on?
I don't know. Arriaga looks like a guilty man. I'm just gonna say it.
Ariaga's like,
he looks like a guilty man.
Right.
It's like everybody's on side, so that's looks like he gets in behind Ymar. It's Arriaga coming through. That's no. That's no.
No.
He gets the
No,
ball
no.
Absolutely not.
He gets the ball first,
That-
and then
no
he gets
chance.
it.
No,
No
if
chance.
no
chance.
no
We're
chance.
going to talk about Yamar running 15 yards out of position.
Yeah, that was not great. But there is no chance that that's a PK.
No.
If it's a PK,
no.
that is going to be the most CCL MLS just I should have known experience. Come on.
He gave it,
Yeah.
or did he not?
No.
Are they still waiting?
This cannot be
This
a penalty kick.
this is not a
cannot be
penalty.
a penalty kick.
It's absolutely going to be a penalty kick. Yep.
Wow. Are you kidding me? He literally hits it off his own leg and it goes off Arriaga's leg. So where's the foul? Is it on Yamar? No. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think Stu's wrong that once you call it on
Yeah,
the field,
it's hard when
the
'cause
contact
there's
there,
contact.
so you're not going to overturn it.
But he just like
Wait, you guys are listening to commentary and talking to us?
I have a
Yeah.
little,
just
I
like I have like
little
a,
bit
on a 7, you know.
Wow. I'm
Listen, the atmosphere is too good. You got to hear this fan
like,
singing,
all right, let's go with it. I'll rock it.
but you got to go low. Come on, Steph.
I was literally.
Yeah,
I
give
was
him
literally
that- give him that
trying
stink
to
eye,
step inside
Give
for
him
being
the stink.
terrible on penalty.
1,000-yard stare, Deneno. What's up?
Ymar got a yellow card for yelling "ball don't
Who
lie."
did he give the yellow to? Hold on.
Let's go.
Who got the yellow?
Ah.
Someone
and here-
get Rasheed Wallace in this YouTube right now.
Somebody just gift that Brian Schmetzer 2-finger side mouth whistle and then pointing at the head. I need
He's
that.
just
I'm gonna
focused,
send that.
We're
I'm
all
gonna
going
start-
nuts. We're definitely not following his rules.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Go.
That's incredible.
I just need that gift for like anytime. Like I need to send that to Anders and whenever during a Seattle game. Anytime he gets a little out over the skis, like, hey, no, stay here. Let's go. Let's
as
go.
I told-
Okay,
As I
hold on.
told
Wait,
all-
they're going to
oh,
review
no.
it? They're going to review
Oh,
it?
no.
Oh, stop.
Don't tell me he was off the
Oh,
line.
stop. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know why.
I love CCL.
Why did I
this-
say I
this
said I was
is-
optimistic? Why did I do that? I take it back. I take it back.
Is he? I can't.
Well, he definitely steps forward, which
He does, but is
You
the
can
back
step
leg?
forward, but as long as
That's a
no.
blur. You can't. That's blurry.
No,
There's nothing clear and
no,
obvious about that blur. He
no,
appears
What
to
if
be
we
off
get
the
saved by
line.
the
He's
rain?
over.
What
He's
if the
over.
rain saves
He
us?
He's in front of the line.
Oh no!
The first penalty
God.
was not a penalty. This is the correct call, I think.
Yeah. He steps. The left foot comes
It's a
off.
terrible penalty.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a shocking penalty. I hope he takes another one.
God.
Here we go.
Oh,
Did they stay with the
geez.
same guy? Who?
It was Deneno, obviously.
Oh, it's Deneno. Yeah, is he
yeah,
gonna go?
he's gonna do it again. That is an
He's gonna do
awful
it again.
PK.
Yeah.
He just
He
absolutely.
just tried to smash it.
This is brutal.
Oh, hey, didn't CCL not have video review until?
Well, and then not only did it go back and get taken again, but Ymar got a yellow, so now Ymar has to play yellow.
Yeah,
He's off that time. He was off that time too.
Yeah.
And that time you could see Steve Fry was just kind of like he's like, ugh.
Okay.
That's fine. You know, look, that's
okay, but honestly, like, I understand the logic that it was called on the pitch. I didn't have the sound up at the time to understand that because I was trying to figure out what was happening. When I saw the replay, it seemed clear and obvious to me that it was not a penalty.
I think it is. I think it is very, 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 very soft. Like there is contact, but Dineno just sort of lets himself fall down. It's not like he's trying to continue his run or get to the and the ball hits
his leg and then hits off Arriaga's leg.
Yeah, he's not in control for sure.
it's a pretty cold-blooded penalty after missing a PK and having it called back.
I mean, it's that's a full serving of what we've come to expect in the CCL. Like just everything about that, like all of it. You know, it's like, oh well, hey, you know, I'm full. Got my, and they're like, oh, you got dessert here. VAR.
Right,
we have VAR now, and
8 goals for the tournament,
which is wild. But it helps when your team goes down 3-0 in the first leg, so you have to score.
I mean, how many of them went right through
Doyle,
Edwards' hands?
Do you see a possibility that Dineno could come to MLS? Is that realistic?
I mean, I don't see why not. MLS teams have been shopping in Liga MX since TAM was invented, right? And he's out of contract, and Pumas is a club that they kind of need to sell. Right. Like they're one of the Equipos Grandes. They're one of the traditional giants, but they don't have the type of financial backing that Club America, Cruz Azul,
they're owned by a university. Like
right. So they don't have that type of financial clout. So they're a selling club. And if you're an MLS team, Dineno's 27 years old. He's proven in Colombia and Liga MX. He's on it, like he's out of contract 6 months from now. It seems like a really good target.
Oh, love it from Ladero though. What I'm hoping here is that now Seattle are just pissed off. Like
and they just go after
mad.
Guys, I got to tell you, I was actually pretty okay with the penalty call.
Andre, just mute this man. Take his mic away.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
Whack.
Okay.
Like just because you get ball first, like if you go through the man.
I don't want to talk about this.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, Bartleby.
I had some moments on IR that I'm overthinking from this last week. So I'm a little bit in my feelings on my referee my judgments. Oh boy.
Wow, wasting time at 40-36. Cool. Thanks, Talavera.
Just gotta get to halftime. Just gotta get to halftime, man.
He's 39. How wild is that? I get he's a goalkeeper, but
that's like Liga MX tradition, right? Like
yeah.
Only get better.
He's the youngest goalkeeper in the league.
Yeah. The rest of these guys are like, the old whippersnapper there at Pumas.
Calen, do you play with John Bush?
I did, yeah.
He played till he was like 42.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, he was a goalkeeper, so we can't give him too much credit. But
John Bush was the last active player in MLS who was older than me.
Nice.
Yeah. So special place in my heart for
He's
John
now
Bush.
A coach in Scotland, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
In Scotland?
Yeah.
I think he's at Hibs.
Is that like a Succession storyline?
I don't know. He's like a. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The thing I remember most about John after I got a bunch of LinkedIn requests because he sells goalkeeper gloves, and I was like, whoa, what's?
He used to hook up a lot of the guys who didn't have like deals would sign with him.
Yeah, Ladero's like, I'm kicking this ball as hard as I can.
I would say this: the one time I'm rooting for Seattle is the time they'll lose something. Normally I'm neutral. I don't care.
Just remember
Anders experience it.
Yeah, if Seattle Anders loses, and then we all win. So
ask yourself on that PK call whether you trust Doyle's judgment or Chad Marshall's judgment. Chad Marshall says absolute joke on Twitter. So that's probably like his first tweet in years, if I had to guess.
That makes me feel better about
This is amazing. This guy gets hit on the leg by Arriaga. He gets up, and I think it's Mozo, to yell at the ref, and then goes back down.
Mozo's really benefiting hair-wise from the rain. Just good flow going for him right now.
Thank you, Wiebe.
Yeah, I know you needed to hear that.
Oh, that is awkward.
Yeah.
But now look, he gets up to run at the ref.
Yeah, and he probably felt it like a tweak or something, right?
Oh, I don't like to watch things like that.
I think he would have been on the Mexico team tonight if he hadn't played in this game, because they need a right back, and he's been the best player in this tournament.
Nice. I'm seeing more MLS guys say no penalty. Justin Mapp. We got Chad Marshall.
All completely unbiased. Now check
Doyle, have you ever
played?
Doyle, have you ever played? Do you know what it's like?
Taylor Twellman, 0%, 0.0%, not a penalty, 0.0% that they'll overturn. Don't change, Champions League.
Nice.
I feel like that's happened before, even without VAR. It's the roller coaster of like the highs of like, yes,
yeah,
our comeuppance is here, just only to get absolute like roundhouse kicked 2 seconds later. It's like, well, video review is not good enough for the first one, but certainly for the second one. And I get why there's contact. I know why you can't overturn it, or they wouldn't. But
whoa, we've got a bottom line going on YouTube that just says yellow cards do not reset. I love that.
Wow.
Let's go.
Just trying to
keep the people informed.
See, the kids in the comments, Doyle, agree with us. They say that PK was cap. They agree with us, all right? Every generation except for generation, whatever which one you're in, I can't remember now.
I think Doyle's
it's like
M
it's like the silent, whatever the silent one that doesn't matter, like that. I don't know. That's been whatever that one is.
Hit Nuhu. Come on.
Oh,
that's a handball. I wasn't paying attention, but
the whole time that sequence happened, I'm thinking, why are they playing it to Nuhu?
He's got his arms out wide.
Yeah, and then you realize why they didn't play to Nuhu, because then he doesn't do anything with it.
He was on.
He's on.
Yeah.
Come on, Nuhu.
Yeah. Even Joe Lynn in the comments, Doyle, says she's going to kick you tomorrow for that take.
That's fine.
This is a little bit off
because I'm right.
A little bit off topic, but
Perfect.
Liga MX's branding of their shirts, it's going to take over sports overall. I can't believe it's taken this long. They literally sell every Pumas is like the best logo, and it's the biggest one, but they've got like full NASCAR vibes, which I kind of respect. I think that's kind of on trend right now as far as style goes in general.
If I was gonna ask anybody what's on trend, I would ask you, Calen.
Like the more logos, the better. Absolutely. And
do you think
Calen loves the iron?
They have fully monetized.
Do you think this is a step on like our slide into like a corporate dystopia, Blade Runner style?
I mean, honestly, like I kind of
your head is looking like prime real estate, Doyle. Like you got three.
Tell every shot of it. Absolutely.
We got 360 coverage here. It doesn't matter what angle they're looking at Matt Doyle. They're about to get served an ad.
How much would you like for a Doyle head NFT? We will sell it to you tonight.
It's part of the new initiative. Anders and Thomas have to work on it.
It's part of the Gonzalo Higuain collection.
Exactly. He's the stunt double.
The whole collection is just guys that are like, is that Gonzalo or is that somebody else? Like on first glance, I don't know.
That's John Bush. No, it's not.
Oh yeah, I got the Matt Doyle number 158.
Bad time to say this, but I kind of do want a Pumas jersey. I'm thinking about it.
They're dope.
We had a kid on my youth teams growing up who we called Puma because he wore Pumas gear head to toe every day. And just one time I finally asked him like why he was a Pumas fan. He was not a Pumas fan. He was Colombian. He was a Nacional fan. He had never watched a Pumas game in his life. Dude owned head to toe gear for every day of the week. It was amazing.
I like that.
And he went by Puma in his everyday life because their stuff is so nice.
I will say at one point MLS was closer to this future that I think we'll end up getting back to. But I used to have Chicago Fire. We were sponsored by Toyota and Honda at the same time.
Wow.
Honda on the kits, Toyota Park. I don't know how it happened, but it's kind of like that, like legendary.
Those are cool jerseys.
It's kind of like that legendary, like Chappelle, Coke, Pepsi, where it's like, I don't know, Pepsi paid me last, so it tastes better.
But at the same time, that was when Volkswagen was the league car sponsor too. So you were tripling up there, kid.
Just triple dipping.
That's right.
Ooh, Gianpaolo
you give me a hard time about my used.
Oh, come on!
I don't appreciate.
Why not?
Come on!
Why not? Why not? Back post, get there! Right there! No!
Oh!
No!
JP, come on, JP.
Oh no! Just takes one moment. Great. I mean, the knockdown header by Ruidaz is just
a great
wonderful,
header.
though. By the way, such a good header.
It's almost like Gianpaolo, if he would have just stood still, he kept inching closer. He would have had a better angle if he would have just stopped, as opposed to kind of like continuing to inch a little bit forward because he kind of cuts down his angle and the ball bounces up a little higher than he'd like.
We've got somebody suggesting Doyle coin in the in the chat.
Sometimes the best movement is to stop.
Doyle coin to the moon.
We would invent.
Since Calen taught me that, I've just stopped moving every time I'm in the attacking half of the field.
Well, you have to have. We've talked about this before on this show. You have to have
the threat of movement.
Yeah, you can't just sit still. You have to at least give someone the impression or the idea that you might move, and then you stop.
I'm just making the runs against the grain.
How do you do that? How do you do the minimal movement? I need that lesson for sure.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get the ankle back in a place to go play pickup. To be honest with you.
Oh,
is that Morris?
It was rolled on. He's so good in the air.
I mean, what has Pumas created here other than that moment, really?
Yeah, they just had the one long shot from distance.
It's not. I mean, it's not like Seattle's banging the door down by any means. All right, so first half, there's the whistle, folks. If you're watching with us, thank you for being here. We got another half to go. Maybe it's time to. Thomas says Higuain just got back from the bathroom. so we can continue this conversation. What do we think of the first half? We've already we've litigated the penalty. It is what it is. What do you think of the first half? Is good, bad, other by Seattle?
I think overall good. I think they created chances, right? You had the cross to to Rui Diaz that he put over the top, the long ball to Nuhu. So I think in general, you have to be positive that you're down 1-0 on the road in front of their atmosphere, their crowd, dealing with everything. You're only down 1-0. I think that's fine, especially without away goals counting. There's less pressure. It's more about the result and the distance than it is about you have to get the goal because otherwise you go home and you can't concede and all that type of stuff. So that's my thought.
I'm going to take a different approach. I'm pretty disappointed. I think that the way the half has gone, the Sounders deserve to be level. I wouldn't say they deserve to be ahead or anything like that. I know you just finished saying that we finished litigating this, but I don't think we're come anywhere close to being done litigating this. I hope for our sake that it is, in the sense that like, I hope that this becomes a non-factor in the series if the Sounders can level this up at some point. But I just looked back at the highlight again, and it looks clear and obvious to me that it's not a penalty, which was my reaction right when it happened on the first replay. And then I watched it again, and it very clearly comes off his leg and then goes into Arriaga's leg. There's contact after that point, but at that point you've made a play on the ball. So I think it's a really disappointing call, especially with video review involved. And it feels like the perfect type of situation where you're thankful that video review has been implemented into the CONCACAF Champions League, because ultimately you want it to be decided by like how the teams perform. And I mean, not to say that this is done because there's 3 halves of soccer left. But I find that really disappointing. And so I think the Sounders will feel hard done by that. And you already saw the response a little bit, which is not surprising for me from the Sounders perspective. And I think, they'll look to try and get that back in the second half.
I want to boo myself as I say this, because as I keep watching it over and over, I don't know that Arriaga is like truly in control of his body and in control of the challenge. And he does hip check him, and the ball does end up, regardless of him getting the touch, the ball is at Dineno's feet. Like, as you see, it's lucky, but it's going to be at his feet, and he can't make a play on it because Arriaga checked him. I don't want it to be a PK. I would rather, and I know that like the referee can't see that. That's the thing about this play is the referee is behind this entire play. He doesn't see any of this contact like on the ball. He doesn't see who gets it first. There's just no way for him to see that. He's blocked. So all he sees is the hip check. I 100% get why the referee would point to the spot. And I like want to punch myself in the face for saying it, but I see why
make a tackle, like he's making a tackle there. If you make a tackle and the ball comes off him, like in order to make that tackle, which is to get the ball away from the attacker, which is I think fully within the defender's right.
And it would be away if Yaimar's not standing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I
it's
just
fully
understand
within his right to go and make that challenge, and I think he makes I think he plays the ball, and then actually looks to like almost ease up with his hands. In a way, I feel like his hands going up almost made him look more guilty. Now that I'm looking,
like I said, Arriaga's got a way. I said it when they called it. Like he's got a way of looking guilty. Like the dude does not look like somebody who's not guilty when he fouls people, or doesn't even. Like
I think he has a right to make a play on that. I think he has to make that challenge.
He definitely has to. I mean, you watch.
They're just showing it again.
Yeah, Alexi's saying he doesn't think it's a PK. That's a center back though, so there's bias there. We gotta.
Also, if Alexi's saying it, that means he thinks the opposite. So he thinks it's a penalty.
Yeah, just like the whole drama of it, the whole like the different acts of it too. That's what it's just so CCL in so many ways. at least from the
Well,
MLS
and then
experience.
the save, which
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
all
like
going
I
nuts
wish
for.
I don't know, Anders, if you could clip that part of it, like watch ourselves going crazy, just to hurt ourselves here. Like I was extremely
Oh, amazing!
just felt like, yeah, take that finally. You know what I mean? We come out on top this time.
Ball don't lie.
Oh, hold on, Joe Macknick's gonna give us a take here.
I gotta hear Joe.
Oh, Dr. Joe.
Let's see it.
Dr. Joe says the decision's not clearly wrong.
Well, what he's saying is that the ball comes back off Ymar.
That's what I was saying. Is like he has an opportunity that he doesn't get to take advantage of because he gets hip checked a little bit.
And therefore, whether you think it is or isn't, once it's called on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that was it. And that's where it gets tough because, like I said, the referee can't see the touches. How's he going to see the touches? It's on the wrong side. Like he can't see through those bodies. So he's got to make a call based on the contact that he sees that, you know, like Dinenno's not exactly trying to keep it going. And I understand that too. Like, you know, if that's Rui Diaz, we're all in here screaming like, go down, go down, go down.
I don't know. Some of these honestly come down to me just like like it is subjective, but some of it comes down to a feeling. And I'm like, I don't know. It bothers me when we get to the point where defenders, and I'm an attacker, right? I'm supposed to be on the other side of this. I know I'm rooting for MLS or I want the Sounders to win, but I don't think so much so that I'm just gonna like throw everything out the window. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, we can't make it to a point where a defender cannot defend in the box. Like they have to be. That's part of the fun of the whole thing is like everyone's challenging for the rock, and I just think like. I don't know. He's got to make a challenge there. I don't know if he gets enough. I think he makes a play on the ball, so it's disappointing for me.
Neymar just gave a good example of not defending in the box.
That's fair. Doyle's been sitting quietly, just waiting to stir the drink a little bit to drop that in there. The other thing, when did it start to be? Was it the advent of a video review, just period? That like. You know, because 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, Steph Fry doesn't get called for that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's purely a video review thing, right? Like goalkeepers coming off their line to make saves like that, you would see it once or twice a year at most, and it being
it would have to be so stupidly blatant.
Crazy.
It would have to.
And I mean, even like the most famous penalty save in U.S. soccer history. Brianna Scurry in the World Cup, she was 3 yards off her line. You go back and you watch that, and it never would have stood there. And you could go that far off your line if you were a goalkeeper and get away with it a good amount of the time. So that's new, and that one's. I think that's a good change. I'm okay with that one, even though like it burns tonight.
Yeah. I'm okay with that too. The only thing that kills me though is that the attacker is allowed to like run, stop, run, turn around, run backwards, run, stop, jump, come down. Agree. Like you can do all kinds of wild stuff, and then you can't encroach either. So everyone's like doing this crazy choreographed dance of like the goalkeeper can't move, you can't move to go for the rebound, and the attacker can do everything. They can do they can salsa, they can samba, they can turn around, they can do a 360, they can do whatever they want. So it's just like, I understand we want goals and we're all in favor of that, but it does feel a little bit weighted wrong where like some of that type of movement from the attacker is not like incorporated into these rules.
The other song and dance that drives me sort of ridiculous is before every shootout, the ref explains it to the two goalkeepers. And then they start asking questions like all of us don't know what, like this, you've done this your whole life. You know what he's saying. He knows what you're going to say. And like every goalkeeper in the world is like, starts pointing and asking questions. It's like, you know, the rule, like we've gone over this before. And that part I feel is a little bit annoying. Wasn't it Jamaica in the 2019 Women's World Cup that it got called back like 3 times or something on the same shot?
Yeah.
And I think that was the tournament where they really started to shift. Like, yeah, we're going to use VAR. We're going to make sure
for the minutia of this. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess it's not minutia. I would expect though it has changed, like the technical aspect of being a goalkeeper. Like when you were able to, not hugely, but when you were able to have a little bit of a foot off, or you could say like I could get a push. I don't have to drag my foot. It's almost like NFL wide receiver-esque technique where you see the foot drag. Like you have to figure out how to be able to plant and also be touching that line. We got to get a goalkeeper on to talk about
that. Listen, Cale Jenkins in here says diehard Timbers fan. No chance that's a PK. So that says.
Well, look, that's all the proof we need. We send that tweet, send that comment on YouTube straight to the video referee booth. Like if something's going to change their mind, that's going to be it.
I love that there were like no Timbers fans in the chat until halftime.
Yeah, like ooh.
They're like, oh, it's safe. Okay.
Yeah. Like, aha.
Oof. This Pumas team is the worst Liga MX team in a final since Chivas in 2018. I've said it 3 times over the last 24 hours, and it's hitting me even harder.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
And that's why this one is almost like I don't know. It was written in a way for us to get. It was written for us to get up. We were going to get excited. Calen was going to temporarily abandon his cautious pessimism. Yeah, like we were like, oh, surely, of course. Oh, the Sounders, of course. This is the time.
Yeah,
Borderline
I blame
PK
myself,
saved
honestly.
video review.
No, I'm still staying positive. I'm honestly, I'm still.
I think they still. Would you say the Sounders are still the favorites at this point, or no? Has this changed that sort of mindset that we had, or maybe I don't know. Maybe we didn't all have that.
I don't think so because I saw the response towards the end of the half where they were able to create a couple opportunities and push the game. 2, they're not under crazy pressure, which we've seen in the past with teams that go to Mexico and having to play, especially in a game of this magnitude. The Sounders look, for the most part, pretty comfortable. They haven't given up a ton of chances. Steph Fry had one big save that I can remember, but other than that, there was nothing from the standpoint of like just constant waves of pressure. One thing, they did sit back a little bit too deep, I think, at times in the first half, where they started like around the 22 to 35 minute mark leading up to the goal, where they were a little bit deep. And in those moments, they need to find some footing to get forward just a bit more. But I actually think like the Sounders should feel good going into halftime, understanding that like when they have taken a more aggressive stance, and maybe they'll recognize this, they've actually found success to put Pumas under pressure. And so I think there's a possibility they come out with a little bit of a different approach in the second half. 1, because I think they'll want to go back with at least a goal to be level. But 2, I think there's something. I think they recognize there's something in it for them if they do that. So I think with 3 halves of soccer left, I wouldn't change the stance that the Sounders are still in good shape. But yeah, I think they need to get one from this half.
But I agree with you, Calen. It's what they've been like this whole year. It's what they were like last year as well. As they're super dangerous in their moments. They don't dominate throughout the whole game, but it's so cutting edge that if you get Christian Roldan to the end line, the pullback's going to be dangerous because it's Rui Diaz and Ladero and Morris and everything normally that Seattle does, they're clean with. And so they're dangerous even when they don't have numbers, which is what's a little frustrating that, Rui Diaz doesn't wrap his foot around that shot. João Paulo as well. Like those are 2 pretty big chances that you'd expect those players to be more dangerous with, but you're still only down 1-0. And I think it's fair to say the expectation is that they'll get a goal in this half.
Marcelo Balboa Cello says, "What a freaking soft PK this ref gave Pumas." I mean, if Cello's coming in here, sure, he's never just absolutely run anybody over in the box. Not once.
Cello's actually scored that bicycle. He would have scored that bicycle.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I completely understand. Like,
What are they doing with this headset? They're just slapping it as a sound check.
All right, we are going to restart here in a second on our clock. It's all based on me, and we're off. There it is. Started up. Second half of the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions League final grand finale hashtag of CONCA Champions. Which, by the way, I think we should just go to CONCA Champions instead of doing CONCACAF Champions League and do as they do in Mexico and shorten it. I think that's I really like that. It's good branding. All right, what do you want to see, Doyle, for the Seattle Sounders here?
I think Calen hit the nail on the head. That like the one time things kind of got away from them is when they were sitting a little bit deeper and got a little bit too passive in the middle of the first half, and that's kind of I guess the PK came a little bit later than that, but like I just want to see them do what they're doing right now, get out there and go on the front foot, put Pumas under pressure. Like Pumas they're not a great team, man. They're scrappy. They have a striker who can create a goal or find a goal out of nothing, but they're not. This is not a dominant Liga MX side that we've seen in the past, and Seattle's got to go out there with like pure confidence, believing that they can get a goal or two here.
You're watching Ymar pretty closely here. Like that's not only did the PK was it a little bit soft, then it was saved, then it was made, but Ymar picks up a yellow within all the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just come back, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a part of it. I also think, obviously, you don't want to have anybody. You want every available option, and Ymar's a big part of that. But the Sounders have some depth at that position. Reagan's been playing there for a long time now. Made a little bit of a youthful mistake, I would say, a little inexperience against San Jose on the second. It's hard to remember how many goals were in that game. But on the second goal within the span of a minute and a half, just kind of playing a ball where it's like, yeah. And we know that Schmetzer is going to play like the experienced players in these bigger matches because that's kind of what they require for a lot of times. But I think at home.
Oh, God.
So.
Oh, God. And it's Dineno twice. He was quote unquote was hurt.
It's Ymar twice. It's Ymar twice. Like Ymar completely misjudges this.
Oh man. 2-0 Pumas. In case that wasn't blindingly obvious. Oh, what is Ymar doing?
He just completely overruns it. Look at that.
It's a great header.
That is a great header.
It's a really good header.
That's some Batistuta.
Yeah, he freaking fired that.
Yeah. Ay.
Oh man. Well, we're going to Seattle no matter what. My plane ticket is booked. Let's get a goal. I'm not giving up hope. But Dineno is taking this tournament over. If somebody doesn't sign this man in MLS just to take him away from Liga MX, then we're not doing it right. Oh! Just missed. Like he just needs to just a tad more. I mean, how do you manage this game now? Do you open up like 3-0 is It's not insurmountable. I mean, Pumas literally turned a 3-0 around against the Revs. It's not insurmountable in Seattle. But 2-0 would be better. 2-1 or 2-2 would be ideal. Do you open up?
Who are you asking, Wiebe?
I don't know. Anybody who has an opinion.
Everybody's shell shocked right
Oh,
now.
I've been muted for like a really long time and didn't know that.
I wondered.
Oh,
God.
come on!
F it. Don't open it up. We're coming, baby. Like this is also a momentum question too. Like
So what I was saying when I was muted, which is great, was I don't think they need to open
What
it
a
up.
save
I think
that is.
Seattle
Oh my
generates
God.
chances. That's the way the team is built, and they're dangerous with the individuals. They don't need the overwhelming numbers. So I think they're playing the way they thought they were going to play, which is the way they closed out the first half, pretty much.
that's it. But that's just an incredible save by
That's an
Talavera.
insane save.
Like I cannot believe he made that save.
Dump it back in. Dump it back in.
Oh,
Ooh,
that header back was a little adventurous, huh?
Talavero's so
Yeah.
bad.
So too.
It's like, what are you doing, bro? Are you super off balance? Just let it bounce.
Sorry to do this, but they have sponsors on their socks as well.
I know that. We won't say the name. As we're very committed to one tire company only, and that is Continental.
No, I don't think it's a tire. I think it's a bank. It's hard to read up the leg. Well, I don't know.
No, I think as a tire connoisseur.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doyle talked about it in the first half, I think, with them being sort of a selling club, but like the atmosphere is because this is not a team that really wins trophies anymore, right? I think they have won this millennium.
No, they
So,
have
like,
more
this
than that. They had a few back in
Four?
the odds, but it's been.
I think it's 4
been a
since
while.
I thought they
2000.
won. I thought they won in 02 and that was it.
No, I thought they had a couple around like 06, 07. Now I'm going to look it up. But
I
go
think
ahead.
it's
with your
I think
point.
it's 4. I think it's 4 since 2000, and they got
Okay.
what a header that
So
was.
it's just this is a huge deal for them as a club that they got into a final.
Yeah, it's like a return
that
to
they have
glory.
This opportunity is a huge deal. It's I don't think it's a return to glory. I think it's like this is their shot. Like this is their chance to win a trophy and
That's what I'm saying.
sort of
They,
like put themselves in a new convo.
they don't have there's
'Cause I don't
what
think-
glory at this point for them. Like this would be it.
Yeah, but also it's not like, oh, this is a young group that's going to stay together, right? Dineno's gone.
Yeah.
Talavero's 39. They're probably going to sell Mazzo the same way they sold Lira last year. Like, this is it. And so I think you've seen that also from the Revs game forward of each game the crowd has built. It was not this intense for the Cruz Azul game, but it was pretty special. And now this is like on a whole nother level.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Come on.
You think Freddie Montero's the first sub?
I mean, Brian Schmetzer is Brian Schmetzer, so yeah.
He loves him. Or Kellen Rowe. It's one of the two. Let's go, Roldan.
Yeah, Dineno just went down.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, just get him out if you're
Yeah,
if you're Pumas.
absolutely.
Like I don't know why
True.
you're playing him. Like on a crazy wet, waterlogged field.
Yeah. Two
Where
goals.
he's got
And
2
they have a
goals, you're up
must-win
2-0.
game. And they have a must
Yeah,
win game.
get
this
him the hell
weekend,
out. I
too.
just can't understand why you keep playing him.
Oh,
Oh,
here we
there,
go.
slip. We need that. Give us some Steven Gerrard.
Ah, play the
Trash, dude. He's running down
play
the
the other
he's
side.
in the. I mean, Roldan is. You really gotta contort your brain to force that one. I'm not a professional soccer player, but there's a lot of
you're right.
there's
No,
a lot of
I mean-
open space and a runner. Like
No, but from looking at it from the blimp cam, it was very
Yeah.
clear.
Oh no.
Doesn't he have a hurt ankle or foot? Right? Didn't he go out with an injury in like week 2?
Yeah.
And they said he can play through it, but it's just going to hurt the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah. That's
Oh.
no. Don't like to watch any ankle injuries. Not something I like to watch. Not for me.
I'm now having a flashback to Wiebe having to hide Wiebe's foot in the studio.
Yeah.
For like a month because we had that like.
I'm still
janky
doing.
boot
I'm
on.
still
It was,
doing
like,
PT on
hidden.
that ankle to try to like get it into a place where it can match the left one.
All the studio techs, like this is the good thing about
Like, can we-
the remote studio is
Yeah.
like it's just like upper body, like waist up at
Yeah,
most.
that's the
Whereas,
best
like,
part.
You don't have to hide Weeby's like janky ankles that have boots
Yeah,
on them, and, like,
Exactly.
ankle braces and all that.
I want to say for the first couple shows we had to do, I couldn't even wear the boot, so I had to like hop. I like hid it underneath, like fat legged it underneath into a shoe for a
They're
while.
like,
there.
let's send Wiebe to the board. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh
Let's-
no! I'll stay here. You go. You go without me. You
we
go
will not
without
do
me.
that.
And Pumas is
I
just
need this first Seattle goal.
yeah. Pumas is just. I mean, they're gonna sit in and have like their line of confrontation around midfield and just try to keep them from getting in open space. And Seattle hasn't really they're not pinging the ball around by any means.
Honestly, I just I just looked at the YouTube chat and it's like it's kind of funny that like I'm seeing like Dallas till I die. I'm seeing Portland Timbers forever. Like it's like all of the MLS teams where you think you would have the
Came out the woodwork.
solidarity.
Yeah. Went 2-0 and they just came out the woodwork just to claim their city. Like, oh, you thought Seattle, you thought.
Oh,
I don't know. It's
man.
gotten interesting. Do you think if it was a different team? Do you think if it was? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a team people would actually get.
I don't think there's a team.
You think that's over?
That's unless it was, which would be maybe only if they won Open Cup, right? Like a team that's not even a playoff team.
I think
So,
Philly.
no offense,
I think
Dylan,
people.
but like if Houston was in it,
I think people would have been into it last year with Philly.
I mean, I think everybody was into it from Salt Lake. Like
It was a long time ago.
that was
though.
huge.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah, but
But I've heard a lot of people. So with Salt Lake, it was like everyone wants an MLS team to win it. I've heard a lot of people say they're rooting against
I've heard the same.
ex-MLS team because they want their team to be the first.
I don't know who.
now.
I don't know if there's like a RSL was lovable in a way at that time. Like the soccer they were playing, some of the players that they had, like there was nothing like really hateable about them.
I think the producer thinks he's doing the VAR booth because every handball claim gets its own replay.
He's got to make sure. He's like, they told me we need multiple angles. Like we get the raw feeds, buddy.
I don't know how lovable that Salt Lake team was. I will say they had like Will Johnson, Kyle Beckerman.
You're right.
Ed Grabavoy.
Yeah, they had some guys.
Sabo wasn't exactly like a put his arm around you type of guy. Yeah. Javi underrated in that sense as a guy that would.
But I love the way they played, and I think everybody did. Like it was the first time that at that point in time, like I was frustrated just being on teams that were just like, all right, you got the tall guy, the like big bruiser forward, and then you got the fast guy, and then you have the winger, and there was really like no tactical variation really like throughout much of MLS at the time, and it was like the first team that played like the diamond and the way that they were able to like keep the ball and win. Like it was like the little like mini Barcelona of MLS. Like not to like take it too far, but it really was a different approach to like playing like soccer in MLS. And I think as much as you might even hate some of the guys that were a part of it, or like they were probably one of the better trash talking teams of all time, low key. But like they backed it up and they kind of changed the way that MLS teams play. And like now I look at it and I'm like, oh man, like there's so many different tactics and styles, some that are like, really fun to watch, some that aren't as fun to watch. But that's okay. That's the kind of the way it is. That you should be able to express yourself, or each team should have its own identity, or each manager. And this was like one of the first times I thought that like you could see that as something that was like beautiful and winning.
No. Listen, to Calen's point, all I'm saying is you give Pep that RSL team, how many titles do you win? But you give Jason Christ that Barca team, you're winning at least as many titles, if not more. So I agree with Calen. It was the Barca of the West.
If Jason's still at Man City, they already have a Champions League title. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah. Washington Corzo's a baller, by the way. He's like the one dude 1v1 that scares me on Pumas. And then obviously Bofo Salcedo, speaking of RSL. Oh, by the way, Alex Zendejas played for Mexico today. FC Dallas.
Another dual national.
Yeah.
All right. Nice touch off that.
And go.
Oh, bad ball from Christian. Was a moment.
Yeah, they don't seem to be reading the field very well. It feels like everything that's like, can I wait it right? Will it bounce up to me here? It feels like Seattle just has not read.
I mean, look, I think if you would have given us 2-1 at the start of this game, I'm not going to say we would have jumped out of our shoes to take it. By no means would that be the case. Just from a, hey, we went in MLS to win perspective. But 2-1 would not be a bad result.
No. It's mission. That would be going back with a chance to win. And yeah, I agree with you.
The score is still 2-0 though, right? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Nothing. Literally
I
nothing.
would jump at 2-1 right now. I would.
Yes. No. I would. That's what basically that I was saying.
Yeah. Okay. I feel that.
I wonder if, I guess Schmetzer's going to do what he's going to do, but I would wonder if Rowe at left back and then you slide Nuhu in for one of the center backs because they're both on a yellow card, or just bring Reagan on.
Man,
But a
Nuhu
move like that.
Nuhu at center back in a back four is.
Yeah, but it's going to be you're throwing numbers forward. You need to recover. And
I thought Nuhu was playing center back on the Dineno goal because he was so far tucked inside.
Yeah.
They had like an all day to send that service in. There was definitely
that's what they did to the Revs too. If you look at all those goals against the Revs, it was like Mozo in that same, right on the edge of the final third and just no one within 10 yards.
Oh my God.
Dineno's still in this one, huh?
He still is, and Yaimar's still not looking very clean with it. Don't play it out. Like, God.
Just play with tempo.
Oh, here comes the producer, Doyle. Like, ball is live, and he comes in with the replay. So we can again. He's got video review in his pocket right now. He's like, "Did you see that little bit of a clip? He stepped on his heel."
There's two guys. These are
Everybody's down.
I mean, why would you not? Right? This is exactly what Seattle did to NYCFC.
No, it's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart. Bring out the double stretcher. Was
was
there an
calling for it.
over-under on a double stretcher during CCL final? I feel like that's... it's just one.
I love that they have the full golf cart to whip out on the field.
Yeah, I respect
So like,
that.
it's like the rest of you scrubs can play around with like stretchers and like volunteer crews. We're about to whip the full vehicle out onto the rainy field. Yanmar should have landed on his ankle like 2 minutes in. What were you doing, Yanmar?
This is the most CCL thing ever. Everything about this.
Is it?
I just want to say shouts to Tom.
Yeah.
I see your comment, Tom. I respect you. It is
Yeah, Doyle.
it
To have a guy who is guaranteed to not play score 2 goals in a game that you felt like the Seattle was equal, if not better than going into, feels pretty CCL, plus having the penalty.
plus the
retaken.
penalty, all the stuff. I also, what's CCL to me is that it like 11 o'clock midnight on a weeknight. Just this like, I don't know, this feeling of like having of being like in semi mourning, but you can't walk away. You know, like it's just kind of this empty feeling of like, oh God, I hope. You know, you're trying to muster up some belief. I feel like I've done this a million times.
What are you going to eat next week in Seattle? What's going to be your good luck pregame?
I don't know, Anders. Tell us what we should be eating. We are going to go get some beers on Tuesday night, so like we won't bring the Debbie Downer energy to that. You know, flights are booked. We're going. Abner, if you're in here, you can't snatch this away from us. Anything can happen in this tournament, man.
I'm not sure I'm booked. I was gonna say I'm not sure I'm booked at this point. So
I want to say right now that I want, my instinct is that I did non-refundable on everything.
Doyle, I'll tell you this: my favorite restaurant in Seattle closed. So now I'm open. Yeah, Il Corvo, the best pasta. It was unreal, but they closed. Let's go, New Who.
last time I was in Seattle, I interviewed Brian Schmetzer about restoring
Whales.
like restoring rivers as with like planting trees, as well as really trying to replenish the Chinook salmon population, and how that might in sort of like down the line really help the orca survival, because they're an endangered species there. So
if we go out on the boat with Anders' dad and we see an orca, that might be one of the best.
Calen has street cred.
Moment of
don't worry, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows the passcode.
The orcas come when Calen's there. The orcas they arrive. Although I thought you went out on a boat and they didn't come.
I did. I had to expense that actually from MLS. I had to expense a whale watching tour to watch whales, and it was like 3 hours long. It was super long. I saw not one whale the entire time with my camera crew. So it was difficult. difficult
Think
time.
about the pressure on the whale watching crew when the camera crew rolls on. They're like,
I mean, they said
God,
it was
we
like
really
over
got.
90%. We went to the San Juan Islands. Like they said, it was like over 90%.
I wouldn't be
track
quoting
record,
those percentages if I was them. I
which
would
is
have stayed quiet. Like, look,
yeah.
we're gonna do our best to get you a whale, and I feel like we will, but I'm not gonna make any whale promises here.
Yeah, it felt similar to tonight's game in a way where we were promised more than we're getting as of right now. But there's still time left. But yeah,
Feels like there's. Sorry.
You might say that CCL is our white whale. You know, like we're.
It feels like there's zero movement off the ball.
Yeah, it's been super static. It's just like. And
Calen, I think you have to go kayaking. That's the problem.
yeah, no, we got to get closer. We got to go deeper for sure. So who does Seattle have to change this like right now? Because clearly there needs to be a change.
I think it's just Calen Rowe.
No, it's got to be. I mean,
Jimmy Madronda.
It's gotta be like a Freddie or Bruin scenario, right? Like,
yeah.
But who are you taking out for those guys?
I don't know.
So I think that's why it's one of those other guys because, yes, Christian. Just get Christian angry. Let's go. Initiate Christian. You need like Ladero just to step on the back of Christian's leg and then point at someone else and be like, man, they're coming after you. And then Christian just snaps and goes for it. I haven't seen Jordan run at anyone since like the second minute of the game.
No, they haven't been able to get him.
Did Dineno's back on the field, right?
Yeah.
Like we whipped a golf cart onto the field to get this dude off.
Penalty.
Oh
Yes, yes.
Let's go. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
it was Fofo.
Mofo?
Oh my God! This is the most like MLS connection. Let's watch it here. What's he do?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
he's got his arm
Arm
way
up.
there.
His arm is up.
Arm
There's
is
no
up.
way there.
Arm is up.
A lot of people are gonna say that's harsh, and we don't like those people. Those people can leave. Like,
I think that's harsh. I don't think that's a penalty. It's a natural position.
Pumas fan, don't listen to him.
Fire
Doyle's
20.
been trying to go sleep for 30 minutes, and Wiebe just gave him his opening.
Do not listen to Doyle.
All right. I don't know if
Is it Ladero or is it Rui Diaz?
it's gotta. I don't know. Probably Rui Diaz.
Yeah.
Didn't Nico take it last
some-
week?
Yeah, he did. He took it against San Jose. Bring Freddie Montero on for it. Come on.
I love Arriaga out here. Just like he's litigating. He's like, look, his arm was up. It can't. Oh man, this was the flip side. The problem is now it's probably I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I'm just not gonna say possibilities that could happen that'll break hearts. I swear to God, if they call a foul on this,
Oh, wow. They're going to call a foul?
if they call a foul on the lead up to that, that is such
Where?
garbage.
They
bomb.
didn't
No, they're not.
One of the 50-50s in the box.
No, they're not. It's just Stu out here in the commentary getting me scared. Be quiet. Don't stop introducing these things into the world, Stu. Just keep your mouth shut, man. It's just we know this producer is already in the pocket
Calavero keeps
of a
asking
big
for the
video
VR.
review. This producer.
Remember when it started and they said if any player ever did that, it was an automatic yellow card?
He's going to the monitor.
No,
He's going to the
wow.
Wow.
I love it. I mean, this is
absurd.
This is what we love. This is what we signed up for, though. This is what we deserve.
What could they be looking at?
It's Arriaga, I think. Right past.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Arriaga.
okay. Let's see.
for this push in the back.
That is
No way.
so-
You can call a penalty off for that.
that's gonna.
Bro. Oh man, I can't.
I can't deal with this.
I'm sorry.
This is just.
I mean, he has to call it if he's coming back. Well, I guess it's
Come on. The Jair Marufo rule applies here. He does not have to.
Okay, but he didn't call.
No, he didn't call it on the
He
field.
didn't call that.
Come on, point to the spot. Point to the spot. Do it.
He's gonna say nope. Yep.
Dang.
Oh! Yes! Yes! I had the whack as hell tweet just lined up, just ready to rock, because I assumed. Every bit of me assumed.
Nice. Roldan's talking sack.
No,
Oh,
I
it's
think
Bofo.
he's saying it's all right, Bofo. It's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Come on.
What, those guys might have played in
please.
like youth. I don't know. Christian wasn't in many youth national teams, but
No, it wasn't.
Bofo was.
Nico's taking it.
Come on, Nico.
I can't.
Talavero. Nice. Talavero's telling him where he's going. Come on, Nico.
Wiebe, hold it together, man. Hold it together, Wiebe. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Oh,
Wow.
You see that? Talavera blows
Yeah.
the kiss. Did you see that?
He said a little something too. He said something.
Oh.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because Talavero was talking so. Look at the fans. Talavero was talking so much.
Schmetzer again with
before
the
that.
the mind gif. He's doing it for
Oh,
the
he almost had that, man. He read that so
Wow.
well, and he had his foot on the line too. Oh God, what a!
Wow.
We good. We good.
He gets a lot of hand
He
on
does.
that.
He almost had it. Oof.
No.
I just got the chills, man. I got goosebumps right now. Not from like happiness, but just I think just emotional confusion. Just
I think if you're Seattle, you got to keep pushing. Pumas seeded you possession. Like, push for a second.
it was like after Nico did all that trash talking, it's like a guarantee he's gonna leave a leg in immediately afterwards. He just had to get the juice worth the squeeze, man. You just got to get a little bit of Achilles there before you keep it moving.
Doyle, I think, was willing to do. He did offer up something. I can't remember what, but he said he was like desperate for a 2-1. He would jump at that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would jump at a 2-1. Absolutely. Blow the whistle
Listen,
now.
if this
Blow
game
the
ends-
whistle now. As far
So
as
Jackson Fowler hit us
Yeah.
up in the chat and said that Seattle's won their CCL home matches by a combined 11-1.
Yeah, but they've all been first legs,
Hmm.
which I think is a little different.
The Sounders haven't made a sub, have they?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, Dr. Joe had me all some kind of way. Just
Wiebe,
Is-
who are you picking in the Bandits versus Gamblers game?
as a this you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna go Bandits. I think-
Oh wow, you've always been a Bandits.
yeah, I'm pretty hardcore Bandits guy.
That's because of Cam, right? Cam's playing Bandits and
Well, Bandit is the name of Bluey's
Robin.
dad, so that's
Oh,
you
there
get
you
that
go.
reference.
there was a connection.
Where is it just me, or have I not seen Rusnak like hardly at all in this game?
He's been
No
dropping
one in the
So
midfield.
he's been dropping deep into the left in order to sort of initiate possession and allow the fullback to push up, which is like I get that as a normal rotation, except like what does Nuhu really give you when he's pushing up, right? Like the trade-off you're doing is you're saying, okay, Rusnak's not going to have anything to do with the attack really in order to get Nuhu up there. And like, I don't think that's a great trade.
Doesn't feel like a trade that you'd want to make.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Did we just get a...
Oh my
God. We're getting the broadcaster cable system has issued a required weekly test for the following
I didn't even know
counties
they
during
did this
this
anymore. I don't think this comes up.
if you most people not in the New York area are probably not getting this, but we're getting like, when they do the banner over it, I can't make the noise. This is amazing. In Kansas or in Kansas City, that would immediately be like a tornado warning at this time of the year. They would just cut into local news, like right in the middle of this, and be like, "Well, that's it for you." Like collective safety.
Ooh, that's a good touch from.
Yeah, it
Latino.
is.
Let's go.
He was due. That's a
Yeah.
Good ball. No, it's just a little floaty. It's just a little floaty and predictable.
It was the right
you
idea.
could take
Though.
Morris off.
I think-
by the
I
way,
think you
and
could-
bring
I think-
Bruin on.
yeah.
Morris has been flat.
He's
if you bring
wow.
Bruin
Yamar
on,
was
then you
trying to
just
get.
have two
Yamar was like
options.
halfway to getting sent off right there.
Jesus.
Would you not take one of them off to protect, like, because there's a chance you lose both of them? Or is that not how you're thinking if you're a coach in this moment?
I don't
The
know.
question is open to anyone.
I appreciate you, Workflow. Workflow says I did great with the noise. I mean, I would say this is an opportunity, and that would be Morris, like on set pieces here to turn it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is like 8 guys forward for Pumas right now. Win the header.
Yamar's holding everything. Is Roldan getting a card now?
So is he out of the second leg?
No, he
No,
wasn't
it
one
was
of them.
Fry.
The yellow. It was Fry,
Oh,
Arriaga.
that's I mean,
Man.
I mean, Danino's going in there to get a piece there.
Yeah, but he's making a play on the ball.
Yeah.
He's late, but he's making a play on the ball.
Not as bad as Lucho Acosta this weekend.
Not making a play on the ball.
No, not at all. Yeah, it was. Who was the third one? It was Fry, Arriaga, and who was the other one coming in? Jackson Reagan, right?
Who was that yellow issued to?
Rolled on.
Hold on. Christian.
I feel like Christian has earned the single rolled on reference.
Yeah,
and
I agree
And
with you.
Alex has to get the Alex rolled on, and that's not a disrespect to Alex. That's like older brother, younger brother hierarchy, and also level of.
Steph needs to stop talking.
Yeah, just go, bruh.
Bro, you're on a yellow card. Do less. Oh my God. Anders wants to remind us that Seattle doesn't have a game this weekend. So they don't have to save anyone for that. It would just be fresh legs or potential.
I mean, that's a pretty decent advantage over
Yeah.
Pumas.
It is.
And those
Pumas
those are
has a must.
yeah.
They have a must-win game because
Are they
they're
home or on the
currently
road?
last team in the playoffs. I don't know. They're playing Pachuca, so it's not a long trip either way.
Let's see.
Let's go. Don't take this quick. Get bodies in the box.
I can't tell. It's at home. I mean, set pieces. This is, you just need a moment.
You guys think Nuhu's going to take this?
But
Nico
is that like the
Malone.
equivalent of
Double
it was like
left-footed
that's like the Roy Miller Thierry moment, right? Oh, that's a good ball. Where it's like everybody's like, you think Roy Miller's taking this one? Yeah.
Well, the beautiful part too is like they're both left-footed, which makes no sense. So there's like no variable as far as it being like, I don't know, you might have to set up differently. It's just like, no, just pick your poison, Nuhu or Ladero. Yeah.
Michele Giannone is out here translating what Nico Ladero said to Talavera. We cannot say it on this stream.
Oh, really?
Sure, we
Yeah,
can. We can work blue, can't we?
I feel like if after the Marchand like promo, anything is open right now.
He was in. I don't really want to get myself in any hot water here.
Yeah, I can't.
But
I also can't
it was
speak
very
to-
it was very D-Generation X of him. If that reference would land with anybody.
No. doesn't.
Nope.
X-Pac, anybody? Nobody has that reference?
Nope.
There it is. Jordan Morris. Man, the tattoo of the skyline of Seattle is such a strong look for Kellen Rowe coming
Does he-
on in the
if he-
Jimi Hendrix jersey.
Yeah. If they
They're going 5. They're going 5 in the back. He just pushed Nuhu inside.
I mean, they didn't. I guess you have Montero and Bruin, but if you're not going to take Rui Diaz out,
Yeah, you'd have to take off one of the center mids and then push. Roll. Well,
somebody
guess.
just asked Brando in the comments. Just a reminder, there are no away goals in this final. If that confuses you, you are not the only one confused by that. It has been the rule up until now, but it is not the rule.
But to
of
be
the final.
clear, we are all in favor of it because Seattle only scored 1 away goal.
I don't know, man. Like 2-1 going back home isn't bad.
True. But once you leave the away stadium with only 1 goal, you put yourself in a spot where you can't really make a mistake.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like Seattle could win this second leg 5-4. You guys, I wasn't on the Seattle NYCFC watch along. I was told they're fun. This feels less fun.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
was lied to.
Well, this has just got tense. This got tense
Yeah.
is what happened.
I got sold.
You got sold a
fake-
rip roaring night of
Yeah.
excitement.
no, like the
Exactly.
MLS versus MLS semi is one that we should just like. We probably should have enjoyed a little bit more. In retrospect.
In retrospect, yeah.
Like it was great. Like it was great soccer in Seattle. It was crazy entertaining in the second leg as well. Like that was just like, but the stakes didn't quite feel so tense. Yeah.
I mean,
Anyways, we should do that more often.
there's just a lot of emotional baggage here. You know, like there wasn't that much baggage in the semis because we were gonna get what we wanted no matter what. Somebody was gonna
Same
get through.
time, like an MLS versus MLS final would be kind of whack. I'm gonna be honest, like, and you just kind of like,
Obviously, the Revs thought so too.
Yeah.
but like you
Calen's
have
at-
to go through this
Calen-
pain to like really knock it off, right? Like you have
Listen,
to. do
Calen,
it.
this is why I choose not to live in a mansion and drive a Lamborghini. 'Cause it just wouldn't be that cool.
Yeah, same. That's what I was saying.
It just
like,
gets
when
so boring after a while going 120.
I really respect that, Goss. It's the same reason I chose to drive like a used car with like over 100,000 miles while I was playing in MLS. It was just like more as a way to like stay connected to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as David Beckham says, both feet on the ground.
I couldn't watch that one. I had to just look.
That was
I was like, nah. 90th minute corner kick, pass. Not for me. Not for me. Get it the hell out. Kick it. Get Nuhu on the case here. I need a beer can clearance from that man. Like, get it out.
6 minutes of extra time. Okay.
In both halves.
Yeah, that's
For
incredible.
12 minutes
Oh, wow.
total.
Well, we did have reviews.
Yeah.
But I've been watching MLS.
Listen,
I've been watching MLS games where there's multiple reviews and like injured players and goals, and they're like 4 minutes.
Well, MLS reviews are a lot faster
That's true.
than CONCACAF
That's true.
reviews.
These are.
I don't think we're getting a Howard Webb email about these two reviews.
That was the thing that both in World Cup qualifying and in this is
That's a terrible
No.
call. So this is a call to be upset about. Like that is a bad call.
and Bofo gets it too. Oh, come on, that's just not.
Whoa. John Strong bringing back the Kellen Rowe RSL
Yeah, I forgot about that.
months, not year. The year he got traded 3 times, I think.
Well, the teams what?
KC in New England.
KC, yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it New England to KC or New England to KC to RSL? Yeah. I was using that memory bank run as a way to not watch that moment.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh,
I think that just broke the
like
the
took
board.
a big bite out of it.
Bofo's
Bofo's like, I got to make up for this, man. Like, there's something poetic about not the other ads, but the CONCACAF Champions
Yeah,
League
the
ad,
Champions
like
League.
just folding at just the merest touch, just absolutely.
Wiebe, is there a semi-safe way that you could give like some sort of synopsis of what Ladero said to Talavera?
I mean, I thought I did. I thought like it just depends on what references you're able to get.
I'm just asking for the comments.
Okay,
So
forgot
we
about
can-
Dre. Forgot about Dre. If you don't like me,
Just tell him to go search it.
yeah,
on
go look for
Twitter.
Michele Giannoni. But forgot about Dre. If you don't like me, you know the lyric that you would know.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice. Freddie Montero's going to get a minute and a half.
I don't know what this comment is in reference to, but I know you'll like it, Calen, from RVH. Don't know what this is from. Complete non sequitur. I drive Buna Condul's Nissan Maxima.
Yo, that's what's up.
I have no idea what that's in reference to.
Wow, that is
Uh,
MLS culture right there.
Yeah.
I respect that. Damn.
Like wait, hold on. RVH, the literal Maxima? Like previously owned by Buna Condul?
It's Boona time.
Yeah, I want to say there was another MLS player that was trying to sell his car online like in the last couple of years, and I was just happily retweeting his ads for like a very sensible sedan, and was like, look, if you're looking for a good commuter vehicle,
Oh, that was almost a really good ball.
Seeing Joseph
Again.
Martinez driving a Lambo was like the first time where I was like, oh, we might be able to win CCL. We might be able to.
like, does he have multiple German-made trucks in his garage as well? Okay.
No, I
all
went to
right.
All Star and he like drove out and like he rolled down the window. I was like, what's the Lambo?
I
doing
remember
at the-
this.
at the like training ground, and he rolled down his window and like said, "What's up?" real quick, and I was like,
No, he
Oh.
didn't, Calen. Just to be clear, he said, love the movement. I'm pretty sure is what he said.
he did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what? This
Penalty?
one should be going to VAR.
Oh wow.
I think you're a half second ahead of me.
That's it.
Oh, he just kicked him.
He
just kicked him right in the knee.
I don't
That's
think
not
they're
a
going to have the
stretch, I don't-
stones to. I don't think
There's
they're going to have
no
the stones to
chance.
call it. But like,
Christian's gonna get sent off for that.
They are. John Strong says they're holding the goal kick. I can't tell because I'm watching the Pumas fans put on a show here with their cell phones, but there's.
Oh,
He's
he's
going.
gonna look at it.
He's going.
He's going to look at it.
Wow.
He's going to look at
He's
it.
going. He's going.
What?
Oh,
like
my
he.
oh
doesn't-
god of
No, he clearly
CONCACAF
can't
Like he
see
and
it.
all
Cobra
things
Kai's him right
absurd.
in the fucking. Excuse me, right in the, right in the junk.
Oh wow.
Oh please! Oh please! He fouls him. I mean,
Oh wow.
I trust in Dr. Joe this time. It's a clear foul.
Why swing like that?
Again, by the way.
Oh my!
A Christian.
Why
Oh my
swing
god!
like that when a guy's thigh trapping it?
That's
You guys, by the way, Freddie Montero 100% taking this penalty
Oh man!
if they get it.
Goss, aren't you a Rusnak? Give him the penalty apologist.
yeah.
Get out of my face, Calen. Go home.
To get him going
Listen,
in
if
league play.
if I'd seen him do it against the Galaxy, then I could know if he could. Come on, please do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Why?
Do it.
Yes! Yes! Oh!
Let's
Just
go.
an insane play.
Oh
Like, what's this
my
dude
Oh
doing?
my
I
goodness!
love
We
this game.
deserve this.
I love this game.
Oh,
Oh,
This is
my-
why I said there had to be
Oh.
6 minutes of stoppage time. There should always be 6 minutes. Let Stephen Fry take it. Come on.
Nuhu has
Nuhu
never
take
scored a
it.
goal.
Nuhu.
This is Nuhu's. This is Nuhu's moment.
Is it Freddie?
It's Nico.
No, it's
Oh,
Ladero.
it's Nico.
Wow.
After he and Talavera had
After what they
after
just
he and
went
Talavera
through?
had the back and forth.
Yeah, start
Yes,
start throwing
Talavera's
yellow
getting
cards.
that yellow.
Yeah.
Oh,
start throwing yellow
everybody.
cards.
Yeah.
Where's Dineno? Get him a yellow card.
This is, I know Nico wants to. I know
Talavera's
Nico wants
talking
the big,
so
I know he
much.
wants the big man, and if he gives it to Montero, Montero's never giving it
Yeah.
back. But like, we need a little bit of the Chelsea, Azibuqueta like takes all the abuse while like Nico hangs off in the back. But I think
I wonder if he does it.
this is very like mano a mano. Nico and Talavera, they got some beef. They gotta resolve it.
Come on.
All right, chat. I don't even know. I'm gonna ask. Woo.
Guys, this is incredible. This is
crazy.
This is
Like,
an epic evening,
I-
even as far as CCL goes. Like, this is wild.
Come on, Nico.
I just like can't. You knew who just laid on the ground. I can't watch. I
Let's
Boom.
go! Let's
Let's go,
go!
Nico!
Keep the shirt on.
yeah.
Nico.
Thank you, Christians. Cooler heads prevail. Cooler heads prevail. Let's go! Ah!
Oh,
This was.
my.
Mm.
Oh my.
We're going to Seattle, baby. We're going to Seattle. We're going. Anders. We're going, Anders. Look that's crazy where Talavera started and came back to.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, and I think Nico said a little something.
Oh,
this
he
time,
definitely
too.
said something.
Oh, he definitely did. He definitely did.
Oh, yeah. He
came
definitely
close.
did. Oh, God, yes. This feels like
Yeah.
this feels like the opposite of what I would ever normally predict or
Yeah, this
feel
is-
in these scenarios. Like
No,
that.
no. Especially the late twist, like to MLS's favor, like that. That's amazing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
I was getting like, I was getting like a Portugal U.S. World Cup like vibes there for a second, you know.
Yeah.
I remember that just being so jacked up, and then it's like, oh wait, Ronaldo. Oh god.
Yeah. That was an unnecessary challenge.
Get it out. Get it out. Get after the ball. Oh yeah.
That's it.
Oh yes. 2-2. You're muted, I think, Dave. 2-2. Talavera.
Never in doubt.
No. And we definitely Nico's getting dragged away here. Inevitable beef. Talavera's coming. He wants to. This is, and you know what else is great? We got Andy Rose and Freddie Juarez and the other assistants. Like, oh, yeah, this was inevitable with the way this ended.
Rusnak is there talking to Talavera. This is fine. This is like the
this is like, good. This is good.
None of this is
This is very normal. Yeah, this is very normal. This is the way, you know, look, you have a late penalty call and people have been getting into it for the game. It's competitive. It's a final. Yeah. I cannot believe that just happened.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can now. Yeah.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm back. I don't know how long I've been gone. So
Yeah.
But I said really insightful stuff while I was gone.
Oh, yeah. Just summarize it for us real quick. What was the best? What was the best of it?
Go Seattle.
Nice.
Fight and win.
Oh, I think that's what Brian's going to say in the locker room too. So we're good to go.
This is a
We
big
got it all wrapped
deal.
up. All right, Doyle, give us a little perspective here.
It's a deserved point for the Sounders. They doubled up Pumas XG. They created, I think, probably 4 of the 5 best chances from open play. They deserved both their penalties, and to be fair, I think Pumas actually deserved theirs as well.
I'm willing to give Pumas that as a deserved PK now.
If you're going to win CCL, I think you need your best players to play better than Seattle's best players play tonight. Yemar's supposed to be their best defender. He had just a waking nightmare. I thought Ladero was really poor from the run of play. I thought Ruiz Diaz had, he did well to draw the first penalty, but he had looks he should have put away, especially that first big look that he had. But they snuck out with a very good result. They head home now. If they play 10% better, which is entirely possible, like I think should be even expected.
I was saying 10% would feel disappointing to me if that's all they play.
They should win CCL. They should win CCL. There's no away goals. You're going back home. It's even. You're going to have 65,000 people there, or maybe 72,000, depending on how much Anders wants to lie tonight. This is like this. Seattle's going home, hosting the second leg in front of their fans.
They win
against a team that they just outplayed in Mexico City, and they have the weekend off, and Pumas doesn't. Like they should win. They should win. If they don't win, it's a choke. That's it.
I could say more positive. Wow, what a great result by Seattle. What a great performance by Seattle.
I mean, that's how you're supposed to do it.
They've put themselves in the driver's seat. I'll say this. I talked with Zakawani this morning. It feels like every game Seattle gets a goal because Christian Roldan just gives more effort than someone else. And again, he puts himself in a dangerous area in the 96th minute to be a threat, and it's a brain fart of a play from the defender, but if Roldan's not there, it doesn't happen. I didn't see a lot from Jordan Morris today. I thought Ladero, Rusnak, and João Paulo all struggled to just up the tempo at any point for this team, and they're tied 2-2 with no away goals. Like, it's a dream scenario, as Doyle talked about, and I think there's no way Morris doesn't show up in Seattle with the way he's played at that stadium in big games in the past and the way he's played in general in big games in the past. So I think they could only perform better going forward, and they still outplayed this team on the road in front of their crowd, and they still got the result that they needed. So it's pretty much what had to happen, and you got to feel good. It's taken a little bit to get through the system because it took such a long time to get there, but you have to feel good about it.
There was about a 20-minute period there that was it felt a little dire. And I to get through that for the Sounders, and I just think about imagine feeling that as you watch it, what it feels like on the field, to feel a little hard done by, to feel like things are going against you, to feel deja vu in this competition, to feel like, hey, we're not really creating, like you said it, they didn't create tempo in this game, and the Sounders don't always do that, but generally they find ways to open up spaces or to connect the ball after the ball is turned over and they win it, to have that quick 1-2 in the midfield to open up a space for Ladero to get his head up. They really didn't do any of that tonight. Like, I don't remember a single dangerous moment for Jordan Morris. You talk about Rui Diaz, other than the chance he had on the back post, I don't think I'd really even count the PK draw as like a truly dangerous opportunity. Bofo's tracking him. Bofo just gets a little unlucky in the way the ball comes up and hits him in the arm. So I think there's a huge amount of potential that the Sounders haven't reached, and I think in front of 60,000 people in Seattle, on rest, whatever the hell it's going to be, like however, throw some folding chairs out there, like stuff people into the concourses. I don't care.
The only thing that matters is that will be there. The only fans that matter are sitting in this little box.
Exactly. If someone deserved to see this moment, to be there to witness this, it's us. It's us. Calen, are you excited, man? Are you jacked up?
Calen's gonna book now. He finally decided.
Pull the trigger. That was cowardly of you not to book before now. I just want to say that.
No, it speaks to a deeper truth about my lack of planning in life. I would say Dineno gives me pause because I think he has shown that with limited chances, he can be a difference maker and he can really hurt you. And I would say that would also hold true in the second leg in Seattle. And so I think they're going to have to find a way to really ID him. And they gave too much time on the service, especially on the, not the penalty, but the ball wide, where they got sucked way too far inside and left open space on that right flank for service. So I think, it's not a straightforward path, but yes, absolutely. With the way the game went, which I thought was a terrible call that should have been clearly and obviously overturned in the first half as not a penalty. And then to come back from that, and then to, in extra time, take your chance and get it, which is it's not a situation where I think Rui Diaz is, you don't want him outside on the edge of the box serving the ball. You want him in the box, and he missed the chance before, but he was a complete non-factor. I agree. Jordan Morris also, for the most part, a complete non-factor, was not able to get in behind, was not able to threaten, was not able to really stretch them in any way. And you'd expect that to change in the second leg. And I think at certain points, Seattle, they had to kind of survive at points and times, but I felt like when they were more aggressive is when they found more success. And I think when they get back home and they're able to take a more aggressive stance to the game, I think it's going to suit them well. But to come out of everything that they went through and to come back level at home with one game to win it in Seattle, that's a huge opportunity. Everybody's healthy. They have no suspensions, no excuses. It feels like things have set up really well for them at the end.
How many accidental F-bombs do you think we're dropping on next week's chat?
I don't know who's doing that one. Should we do that one live on the? I don't know where we can sit live on the field, just carry around a selfie camera.
I will say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Doyle was talking about it maybe before this game or whatever. So this is the 6th final under Brian Schmetzer. Is that correct?
Yeah. 5th.
I don't think they've ever scored in the first half, right? Even the TFC one, the first goal,
in 2020?
2019, you mean?
Yeah, you're right. 2019, right?
I thought the first goal still came in the second half.
You're right, it did. 57th minute.
So I agree with everything Calen says. This sets up for play the way you played against Leon. Come out and play that way and be aggressive. There isn't a ton of history to that. So if it plays that way, there'll be a lot of Fs in the first half from me, I can say.
So I want,
heard now.
Yeah,
I want to.
and I get that. That's fine. But the I think the if we were to pull the lasting GIF from this match, it was Brian Schmetzer like continually going to his head and being like, "Hold your nerve." And I think he did it after they like scored the first goal, and then also after the second. Or I can't exactly remember the different situations he did it, but I felt like the Sounders actually really did hold their nerve and showed a little bit of their experience because I think there were ample opportunities to kind of like cave in the way that you would say, oh, well, the game has gone against us. This call didn't suit us. This call went against us. Now, the referee of the situation, the weather, whatever it might be. And I feel like the Sounders really held their nerve. And they pushed at the right times. And ultimately, I think this game will also be remembered for Ladero in a sense, because ultimately, like the personality of him going at Talavera and showing that to take the first penalty, and then to talk a little bit of, not to use a Marchand, but like to talk a little trash, and then like to go again at like the death. Felt like a really big moment in his history with the Sounders, which is already like written in stone. But I think if this ends up being something where you're like looking back and saying this is the first MLS team to cross this threshold or this barrier, and you say in Mexico City against Pumas, this has never been done before, and you needed a guy to like find a moment, even when like the team hadn't played its best, like Ladero stepped up in those moments and was able to like put two crucial penalties away to give them a chance like heading home to that second away leg.
This is an unreal stat that I had never thought of before. Arch Bell says MLS teams remain unbeaten somehow on Mexican soil in 4 CCL games, so they have not lost in any of the away games. Correct. Montreal, TFC,
1-1 Montreal at Estadio Azteca, 2-2, and that one was what at Monumental, or no? Where was the Monterrey one? I don't think the new stadium hadn't been built. But basically, in the final, every MLS team has drawn or won.
Oh wow, that's wild.
So
yeah.
That's not going to take us down a notch at all. This is still an amazing opportunity.
You can't hold it back.
No, can't hold us back. Can't hold us back at all. Do you think it was a makeup call by the referee? And the referee played a huge role in this game to give for the push, because the VAR flags him. He goes to the monitor. He has an opportunity, and it's a very it's gift wrap for him. When the video assistant referee says there's a clear and obvious error, and you go to the monitor, it's gift wrap for you to just agree and walk away. He didn't agree. That was a huge, huge moment. Do you think he knew and maybe had watched at halftime the other play and thought, this is a makeup call for me?
No.
Referees are human like anyone else. I'm not saying it was. I'm posing the question.
I do not. Do you want more?
No, that's it. I just wonder what was going through his head throughout the night, because he had a bunch of big decisions to make.
He got the call right on the Pumas penalty. It's a fine call. People are
okay.
Anyway,
that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. That it's like the right call. But the one thing I can respect is that he stuck with his decisions in both cases. And I think ultimately that's something that we are hoping to see more, is like the human element of the referee making his own choices or her own choices, to be able to take a call the way you saw it, and then you get a chance to look at it again, and it either confirms or changes your mind. And in both cases, he called a penalty on the first one. I disagreed with it. I thought there was enough to turn it over. And I thought with the ample evidence and view of the thing that he could change it. He didn't, but he stuck with his call. And in the second one, it comes again, and he looks at it, and he calls the penalty on the first one. He goes to look at it. They send him to the board, and he decides to stay with it again. So I think the consistency of, at least, while I disagree with the first one still, the consistency that he's looking at his own eyes and seeing things through his own eyes, and then going back
in the referee's opinion. in the referee's opinion, is all over the law book. Like it is it's not a black and white place. It's a place of interpretation.
Can I read you guys a tweet from Steve Zakuani?
Sure.
Yep.
It's destined. Next week is going to be nuts in Seattle. History.
Destiny.
Steve Zakuani
Fate.
he's already spiking the football.
No.
He's spiking the football.
It's destiny that we be there, that we experience it together,
All
Doyle.
Steve is saying is it's going to be a record crowd for an MLS home CCL final second leg. That's historic. That's all he's saying. That's all he's saying.
That it was destiny that we would all be there on whatever May 4th, etc. 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
May the 4th be with you, Wiebe.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So can we commit? Are we going to get Marshawn on the show? That's what I want to know. Like, is he coming on?
I wonder do we have the same marketing budget? Where's our MF and marketing budget?
No,
we don't have to worry. Marshawn's a fan. He'll
love
just
game.
come on to hang out.
That's true. Yeah, you just be there. You just be there for the
CCL. Like, come on.
So that's a good note for people to know. Like, we're going to do a live post-game show next week after on the field, I believe is the plan, at the CONCACAF Champions League final second leg in Seattle. Myself, Dave, Calen will all be there. We'll have cameras on the ground. We'll be there trying to get interviews, doing everything else. Obviously, we're hoping it comes from a place of joy for MLS, but you can't guarantee that. We'll see what it is. It could be like the cherry on top of our misery Sunday, so to speak. But I hope that it will not be. But either way, it's gonna be must watch next Wednesday. Seattle Sounders with an opportunity to do it. What are you guys looking forward to most in Seattle? Like, what's now that we're for sure going? At least Calen is. I was, maybe it would just been a vacation. But what are you looking forward to most? We're gonna do the show on Monday. Extra time will be from Seattle. So the Week 9 recap, and then we'll do some interviews. And then we'll do a meetup on Tuesday night. Anders, real quick, help me out, man. Remind me where we're going. I'm looking at the chat, and I'm looking at elsewhere.
Still waiting to confirm. So he told you that you're not supposed.
I shouldn't promote it. Okay, we'll tweet it out. We'll say it on Extra Time. We'll confirm it in time for that. We got to get to those people. Doyle has to go to bed though. So any final thoughts here for you? Anybody? We'll talk about this more tomorrow on Extra Time with Charlie Davies. We'll break all this down. We'll do it again. It'll be a little bit less emotional. We probably won't be as emo as we were for a good bit of the second half. Final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
It was epic. An MLS team went to Mexico City and got a 2-2 draw. They outplayed Pumas and Nico Ladero. Calen said it, but there was a chance he was never going to play again or never play for Seattle just 6 months ago. And now to step up, to hit both those penalties with the 1v1 against Talavera, it was just awesome.
I think that's a good way to end it. All right. That is the exclamation point on a 2-2 draw. The first leg is over. We now look forward to the second leg. Thank you to everybody who's been in this watch along with us. It's a pleasure to do. We love hanging out, watching these games. We love this, and happy to see you here with us and to see your thoughts in the chat as well. All right, we're out of here. See ya next Wednesday. Adios. Have a good night, everybody.